Stop right there!
Praza, you said you'd let me handle this. Wait, Shepard?
I'm not taking any chances with Cerberus operatives.
Put those weapons down! Shepard? Is that... you're alive?
Remember when I gave you that Geth data, Tali? Did it help you complete your pilgrimage?
Yes, it did. Praza, weapons down. This is definitely Commander Shepard.
Why is your old commander working for Cerberus?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask.
I nearly died, Tali. Cerberus spent 2 years rebuilding me. They want me to investigate attacks on human colonies.
Likely story. No organization would commit so many resources to bring back one soldier.
You haven't seen Shepard in action, Praza. Trust me, it was money well spent. Perhaps we can work together. We're here looking for a young Quarian named Vitor. He was here on pilgrimage.
Isn't that a little strange? A Quarian visiting a remote human colony?
Quarians can choose where they go on pilgrimage. Vitor liked the idea of helping a small settlement. He was always nervous in crowds.
She means that he was unstable. Combine that with damage to his CO2 scrubbers and an infection from an open-air exposure, and he's likely delirious.
When he saw us landing, he hid in a warehouse on the far side of town. We suspect he also programmed the mechs to attack anything that moved.
Vitor's the only one who can tell us what happened here. We should work together to find him.
Good idea. You'll need 2 teams to get past the drones anyway.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza, you're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship. Head for the warehouse through the center of the colony. We'll circle around the far side and draw off some of the drones to clear you a path.
Your people really don't like Cerberus. What did I miss?
They killed our people, infiltrated our flotilla, and tried to blow up one of our ships.
That's not how I'd have explained it exactly. It was nothing personal.
We can argue over who killed who later. Right now, we've got a job to do.
Agreed. We work together to get to Vitor.
Make sure to keep in radio contact.
Will do. Good luck, Shepard. Whatever happens, it's good to have you back. Shepard, Praza and his squad rushed on ahead. I told them to wait, but they wouldn't listen. They want to find Vitor and take him away before you get here.
We should have expected this.
Come on, we can still catch them.
Hurry, Shepard. We're inside the loading docks. Vitor reprogrammed a heavy mech. It's tearing Praza's squad apart.
They did want to get to Vitor first.
Get your squad into cover and I'll open the loading bay doors.
We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point.
That mech's got heavy armor plating. Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
This is your chance to go find Vitor while I tend to the wounded, Shepard. He's probably somewhere in the back of the loading bay.
We appreciate what you told us. You were very helpful.
I studied them. The monsters. The swarms. I recorded them with my Omni tool. Lots of readings. Electromagnetic. Dark energy.
We need to get this data to the elusive man. Grab the Quarian and call the shuttle to come pick us up.
What? Vitor is injured. He needs treatment, not an interrogation.
We won't hurt him. We just need to see if he knows anything else. He'll be returned unharmed.
Your people tried to betray us once already. If we give him to you, we'll never get the intel we need.
Praza was an idiot, and he and his men paid for it. You're welcome to take Vitor's Omnitool data, but please, just let me take him.
You don't have to take Vitor and go. We could work together, just like old times.
I want to, but I can't. I've got a mission of my own. It's too important for me to abandon, even for you. When it's over, and I'm still alive, we'll see what happens.
That sounds dangerous. What are you doing?
I don't think Cerberus needs to hear about it, but it's in Geth space. That should tell you how important it is.
He's traumatized and he needs medical care. Tali will give us the Omni-Tool data and take him to the flotilla.
Understood, Commander.
Thank you, Shepard. I'm glad you're still the one giving the orders. Good luck out there. If I find anything that can help you, I'll let you know.
We're ready for pickup.
Shepard, our data indicates that Tali is somewhere in these ruins. There is considerable Geth activity and an environmental hazard. Solar output has overwhelmed Haster's protective magnetosphere. Exposure to direct sunlight will damage your shields.
Having serious issues with my shields.
And I'm wearing black. Can we get in the shade, please?
Emergency login. The Geth are here. I've stayed to buy the others time. Anyone who gets this, find Tali's order. She and that data are all that matters. Kill us alive.
Incoming dropship. This should punch through their armor. There we go.
This might be useful.
Understood.
Here we go.
This is squad leader Calricker. Do you copy? The Geth sent a dropship towards us. Tali's order is secure, but we need backup. Bunkered up here. Can you send support? Op 1, this is squad leader Calricker. Come in. Over.
This is Commander Shepard of the Normandy. Can we provide assistance?
Patch your radio into channel 617 Theta. We were on a stealth mission, high risk. We found what we were after. The Geth found us. They got us pinned down. Can't get to our ship. Can't transmit data through the solar radiation.
What's the status of your team? How many of you are left?
We were a small squad, dozen Marines plus the science team. We're down to half strength now. Made the synthetic bastards pay for it, though.
What brought you this deep into Geth-controlled space?
You're asking the wrong person, Shepard. I just point and shoot. Something about the sun. It's going bad faster than it should. Some kind of energy problem.
Any idea where the Geth came from?
One of their patrol ships found us. Dropships started raining Geth down on our heads before we could get off-world. Systems under Geth control. We knew they made planetary sweeps periodically. We hoped going low emissions would hide us.
Do we have to worry about the Geth sending in reinforcements?
I don't think so. Their patrol ship hasn't lifted off again. The radiation blocks all off-world communication.
How are you holding up? We can be there in a few minutes.
Take it slow and careful. Direct sunlight fries our shields all to hell. We're bunkered down at base camp across the valley. I left Tali at a secure shelter that doubled back to hold the choke point. Getting Tali out safely is our top priority. If you can extract her, we'll keep them off you.
You've got confirmation that the Geth haven't reached Tali yet?
Affirmative. Left my best men with her. When you get here, you can talk to her on the comm. Every Marine on this rock is sworn to protect Tali. As long as one of us is still drawing air, she'll be safe.
Hold position. We'll hit their back ranks.
Wait! Watch your ass! We got a dropship coming in! Crap! Doorway's blocked. Grab the demo charges in the buildings nearby. Use them to clear a path.
Shepard, I have scanned the area and located the demolition charges the coordinate commander mentioned.
Put it on my radar.
You will need both sets of charges to clear the rubble.
I think we got them all.
Taking fire!
We need a core sample to get a timeline on the rate of radiation increase, but our equipment keeps dying on us. Shepard once used a mining laser to clear some rubble back on Therum. Maybe I can do something similar with demolition charges.
Here they come. Ha! Eat it!
Firing a high-impact shot.
Nice.
Taking too much fire. If we head to the left, we can flank them.
a few hundred years ago. Stars don't die that quickly.
Charges are go. Move it or lose it.
On my way.
After you.
This should come in handy.
Quarian architecture. There's two words you don't expect to hear together.
This deep behind Geth lines? Hope the Quarians got what they were looking
for. Our ancestors walked these halls with uncovered heads. The sun must have been normal back then. So much space. Walls of stone. It's amazing. I wish my friends could see it. I wish Shepard were here. Tali's order to base camp. Come in base camp. Tali's order to base camp. Come in base camp.
Tali, it's Shepard.
Shepard? I'm not complaining, but you show up at the strangest times. What are you doing in the middle of Geth space?
I've got a mission, remember? It's dangerous, but you don't seem averse to high-risk missions these days.
I'll discuss the mission as soon as the gunfire dies down. Call Rieger and what's left of the Marines got me into the Observatory. From where you are, it's through the door and across the field. I got the data I needed and I'm safe for now, but I've got a lot of Geth outside.
What's this research you're after?
It's about this world's sun. It's aging faster than it should. I can tell you more about it once we've got fewer Geth shooting at us.
Would it help if I brought in the Normandy?
Doubtful. These buildings are centuries old. If you bring down heavy fire, this whole place could collapse on us.
Is anyone else still with you, or are you alone out there?
Rieger had a team of Marines covering me when I ran for the Observatory. At least some of them are still alive. I can hear them firing at the Geth outside.
It looks like somebody sealed the door against the Geth and the console is damaged. Can you get it open on your end?
Let me see. Yes, I can do it. Here. Should be unlocked now. Be careful, Shepard, and please do what you can to keep Rieger alive.
We've been spotted.
Those drones have optical camouflage systems. Stay frosty. Going silent.
My shield.
God! Colossus!
Get down!
Definitely like old times.
Hostiles up ahead!
Over here! Get to cover! Hang on, Shepard! Stay down before that Colossus gets ideas! I still got no idea why you're here. This ain't the time to be picky. Tali's inside over there! The Geth killed the rest of my squad, and they're trying to get to her. The best I've been able to do is draw their attention.
Are you sure she's still alive?
The Observatory is reinforced. Even the Geth will need time to get through it. And it's hard to hack a door when someone's firing rockets at you. The Geth are near platoon strength, but the Colossus is the worst part. It's got a repair protocol. Huddles up and fixes itself. I can't get a clear shot while it's down like that. I tried to move in closer, and one of the bastards punched a shot clean through my suit.
How bad is your suit damaged?
Combat SEALs clamp down to isolate contamination, and I'm swimming in antibiotics. Geth might get me, but I'm not gonna die from an infection in the middle of a battle. That's just insulting.
What can you tell me about the battlefield?
Right side's got a catwalk with a sniper perch. You can wreak some havoc from there, but none of my men made it past the Geth. The middle's got cover, but the damn Colossus has a clear shot at you the whole time, and you've got Geth coming in from both sides. The left gives you some cover from the Colossus, but your ass is hanging out for the Geth. That's how I got shot.
Any ideas on how to deal with the Colossus?
Standard protocol with armature-class units is to sabotage the shields and whittle it down, you know? Kill it with bug bites. But the repair protocol blows that plan to hell. You try to wear it down, it just huddles up and fixes itself. So whatever we do has to scrap that bastard fast. Probably means getting up close, past that cover.
We need to get to Tali. Got any ideas?
Just one. I'm not moving so well, but I can still pull a trigger. And I got a rocket launcher that the sun hasn't fried yet. You move in close. I'll keep the Colossus busy. Maybe even drop its shields. With luck, you'll be able to finish it off.
You've done enough, Rieger. You don't need to throw your life away.
Wasn't asking your permission. My job is to keep Tali safe.
We don't have enough people on our side for you to take one for the team. Stand down!
I'm not gonna stand there while you run into enemy fire. They killed my whole squad.
And if you want to honor your squad, watch my back. I need you here in case they bring reinforcements.
All right, Shepard. We'll do it your way. Hit him for me. Keep us alive.
Heads up!
Slow him down.
Just let me finish this download. Thank you, Shepard. If not for you, I would never have made it out of this room. This whole mission has been a disaster. I wish I'd joined you back on Freedom's Progress, but I couldn't let anyone take my place on something this risky.
A lot of Quarians lost their lives here. Was it worth it?
I don't know, Shepard. It wasn't my call. The Admiralty Board believed the information here was worth sacrificing all our lives for. I have to believe that they know what's best.
I didn't ask what some admiral thought. I asked what you thought.
A lot of people died here. Some of them were my friends. All of them were good at their jobs. That damn data better be worth it. The price was too high.
What can you tell me about your research here?
Hastrom's sun is destabilizing. Back when this was a Quarian colony, it was a normal star. It shouldn't change that quickly.
Any idea what's destabilizing the sun?
If I had to guess, I'd say that it was dark energy affecting the interior of the star. The effect is similar to when stars blow off mass to enter a red giant phase. But Hastrom's sun is far too young for this to be natural.
Whatever the reason, I'm glad I could help. Once you deliver that data, I could use you on the Normandy.
I promised to see this mission through. I did. I can leave with you and send the data to the fleet. And if the admirals have a problem with it, they can go to hell. I just watched the rest of my team die.
Maybe not the whole rest of your team, ma'am.
Rieger, you made it.
Your old captain's as good as you said. Damn Colossus never stood a chance.
If need be, the Normandy can get you out of here, Rieger.
The Geth didn't damage our ship. As long as we get out of here before reinforcements show up, we'll be fine.
Actually, I won't be going with you. I'm joining Commander Shepard.
I'll pass the data to the Admiralty Board and let them know what happened. She's all yours now, Shepard. Keep her safe.
Cerberus saw footage of you in action, Tali. We're looking forward to having you on the team. Your engineering expertise will really benefit the mission.
I don't know who you are, but Cerberus threatened the security of the migrant fleet. Don't make nice.
That's why you're here, Tali. I need people who aren't Cerberus. People I can trust.
I wasn't part of what happened to the migrant fleet, but I understand your distrust. I hope we'll get past that as we work together.
I assumed that you were undercover, Shepard. Maybe even planning to blow Cerberus up. If that's the case, I'll loan you a grenade. Otherwise, I'm here for you, not for them.
If it helps, check out the Normandy while you're here. We've gotten a few upgrades.
I'll get Tali the necessary security clearance to access our systems.
Please do. I can't be part of your team if I don't know how the ship works. Just remember, Shepard, Cerberus wasn't our friend when we went up against Saren. I'll be in engineering.
Don't forget to introduce yourself to Edie, the ship's new artificial intelligence.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
We didn't really have time to chat while taking out Geth on Hastrom, did we? I can't believe so many people died. Thank you again for getting Rieger out alive. All for data about stars blowing up. I hope the Admiralty Board gets some use out of it.
Have you heard any word about Cal Rieger? Did he survive his injuries?
He sent me a message. It looks like he'll make a full recovery. Anytime you get a suit puncture, it's a matter of luck. Rieger got out with a relatively minor infection.
Tell me about the fleet's Admiralty Board.
It's one of two major political powers among my people. The admirals make decisions related to defense or needing immediate action. They also handle major criminal charges, like treason. The other political power is the Conclave, a group of representatives from each ship. They make most of our laws and fleet decisions.
Any news yet on the data you sent?
I'm not likely to hear anything for a while, or on an unsecured channel for that matter.
Having any trouble settling back in on the Normandy?
I like the quiet. I miss the old faces, though. Presley, Engineer Adams, all of them. It doesn't seem right having Cerberus in charge of this ship. Are you sure working for them is the right thing to do?
I fully expect them to betray us at some point, and we'll be ready.
I'm glad to hear that, Shepard. Just let me know how I can help. For now, I should get back to work. Thanks for coming by.
Is the new Normandy giving you any trouble?
Please, Shepard, I'm a Quarian. Give me a chunk of scrap metal, a circuit board, and some element zero, and I'll have it making precision jumps. I was worried about working with Cerberus engineers, but they know what they're doing, and they've been very polite.
Can you do anything to give the Normandy an edge over a collector ship?
Definitely. With the right supplies, I can fortify our shields. The collectors cut through the Normandy's barriers immediately last time. My upgrades might give us a better chance.
No, you're not...
Very few Quarians ever set foot here. Ilium doesn't allow the flotilla to approach beyond a certain distance. This is the greatest planet in the galaxy for those who can afford it, and they work hard to keep the Quarian fleet away.
I haven't heard from Teams 4 or 5. Don't worry, my team's always ready to go. I don't know where he is. Not yet. Don't worry about it. We don't need any reinforcements. I'll take care of it. It's under control. I'll go down there myself.
Turn around. Very slowly.
Damn it.
Have you seen the assassin?
Why are you looking for him? You're not one of Nasana's mercs. Who are you?
Answer my questions and I'll let you go.
Look, pal. Even if I knew where he was, I wouldn't tell you.
Not the answer I was looking for.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot me, my...
How about goodbye?
Damn. I could take notes from you, Shepard.
Sending you to certain death for no good reason. You have a right to disobey.
Let's remember that next time Shepard sets us up against impossible odds.
That's about twice a day.
Most of the time, I'm not being stupid about it. I can't say the same for Anaya's superiors.
I'm a cop and I know my duty.
Samara before the detective goes after her. Samara fights her way out of custody, killing anyone in her way.
I am afraid so.
Tali's a good friend. We've been through a lot together.
My female intuition says she wants to be more than just good friends.
I always felt there might have been some chemistry there.
There is. It's in her body language. How she turns to you when you enter the room. How she watches your every move.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
I really need to clean up this engine. Maybe later?
I'll let you work.
Talk to you later.
Repurposed Krogan Hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment.
Odd to see the Krogan devote so many resources to caring for the sick.
Hospitals important to Krogan. Sites of honor. Focus for repopulation.
Sometimes I'm really glad I can turn off my mask's olfactory filters.
Try.
This world is nearly destroyed. And for the most part, the Krogan have done it to themselves.
You know about that Quarian. How's that slave machine race going?
We were driven from our world, but the Krogan are wasting theirs. Perhaps they must lose it to realize what they had.
Looks like a giant insect hive.
Penetrating scans have detected an access node to uplink with collector databanks. Marking location to your hardsuit computer. Shepard, I've compared the ship's EM signature to known collector profiles. It is the vessel you encountered on Horizon.
Maybe the defense towers softened it for the Turians.
Perhaps the missing colonists are there, if they're still alive.
Same containers as on Horizon, only these are empty.
It must have been horrible, trapped in these pods. Helpless, completely at the mercy of the collectors. What happened here?
Why would the collectors just leave a pile of bodies lying around?
They must have been used for testing. If they were a control group, they would have been discarded at the end of the experiment.
They didn't deserve this.
You get what you get. Deserve's got nothing to do with it. That's a collector. Are you saying those bastards even experimented on one of their own?
EDI, I'm uploading the data from this terminal. See if you can figure out what they were up to.
Data received. Analyzing. The collectors were running baseline genetic comparisons between their species and humanity.
Is there something we can use in the data to give us an edge?
These are only preliminary experiments, but they reveal something remarkable. A quad-strand genetic structure identical to traces collected from ancient ruins. Only one race is known to have this structure, the Protheans.
My god. The Protheans didn't vanish. They're just working for the Reapers now.
These are no longer Prothean, Shepard. Their genes show distinct signs of extensive genetic rewrite. The Reapers have repurposed them to suit their needs.
I wouldn't want to live as some kind of mutated slave. Killing a collector is probably doing it a favor. Whatever they used to be, the collectors work for the Reapers now, and we still have to stop them.
No shit. I'm not letting the Reapers turn me into some kind of fucked up bug thing.
Let's find what we need before the collectors come to salvage this vessel. Move out.
Look, on the ceiling. More of those strange pods.
Hundreds. I wonder how many have people in them.
Too many.
I detect no signs of life in the pod, Shepard. It is probable the victims inside died when the ship lost primary power.
This is valuable.
Commander, you gotta hear this. On a hunch, I asked EDI to run an analysis on this ship.
I compared the EM profile against data recorded by the original Normandy 2 years ago. They are an exact match.
The same ship dogging me for 2 years? Way beyond coincidence.
Something doesn't add up, Commander. Watch your back.
Keela.
They couldn't fill all those pods, even if they took every colonist in the terminus.
They're going to target Earth.
Not if we stop them.
There, on the platform. Looks like some kind of control panel.
Where are the bodies from the crew? Something's wrong here.
EDI, I'm setting up a bridge between you and the collector ship. See if you can get anything useful from the databanks.
Data mine in progress, Shepard.
That can't be good.
What the hell just happened?
Major power surge. Everything went dark, but we're back up now.
I managed to divert the majority of the overload to non-critical systems. Shepard, it was not a malfunction. This was a trap.
We need a little help here, EDI.
I am having trouble maintaining connection. There's someone else in the system.
get it done fast, Edie.
We've got incoming hostiles.
Edie, get us out of here.
I'm simultaneously fighting collector firewalls in over 8,000 nodes. I am tasked with capacity.
Here they come again.
Assume control of this.
Watch the landing. Go get them. Good girl.
Shepard, you must manually re-establish my link to the command console.
I've regained control of the platform, Shepard.
I knew you wouldn't let us down, Edie.
I always work at optimal capacity.
Did you get what we needed?
I found data that would help us successfully navigate the Omega-4 relay. I have also found a Turian distress call that served as the lure for this trap. The Collectors were the source. It is unusual.
What are you getting at?
Turian emergency channels have secondary encryption. It is present, but corrupted in the message. It is not possible that the elusive man would believe the distress call was genuine.
Why are you so sure?
I found the anomaly with Cerberus detection protocols. He wrote them.
He knew it was a trap? Why would he send us into a trap?
That son of a bitch sent us right into Collector hands.
I knew Cerberus would screw me again. I'm gonna crush his head.
Commander, we got another problem. The Collector ship is powering up.
You need to get out of there before their weapons come online. I'm not losing another Normandy.
I do not have full control of their systems. I will do what I can. Sending coordinates for shuttle extraction.
Come on, let's move.
Those weapons are about to come online. Might want to double time it, so we can leave before they blow the Normandy in half.
Time, Commander. We have to go.
You heard the man. Everybody onto the Normandy. Move!
Strap in, people! I'm gonna make them work for it this time. Dodge this guy forever, Edie. Get us the hell out of here.
Specify a destination, Mr. Moreau.
Anywhere that's not here.
Very well. Engaging Mass Effect core.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I may need your help. I just received a message from the migrant fleet. The Admiralty Board has accused me of treason. I'm scared, Shepard.
Nobody who knows you could believe you'd betray your people, Tali.
I don't know. They don't lay charges like this unless the evidence seems absolute. But thanks. I appreciate your faith in me, Shepard.
Is it because you're working with Cerberus?
I'm not working with Cerberus. I'm working with you. And I got leave to serve on the Normandy again. I have no idea what they're accusing me of. You'd think I would remember if I betrayed the fleet.
What happens when a Quarian is accused of treason?
There's a hearing, with members of the Admiralty Board acting as judges. My father is an admiral on the board. He'll have to recuse himself from judgment. I can't even imagine what he's thinking right now. The punishment for treason is exile. If they convict me, I can never go back.
So you have no idea why they're accusing you?
None. The specifics of charges like this are rarely discussed on open channels. I won't know any more until I get to the flotilla.
What happens if you're convicted?
Like I said, exile. The specifics are up to the judges. If it's deemed only a tragic mistake in judgment, the guilty party might receive a small ship and supplies. Not that it really matters. Either way, if I'm convicted, I'll never see the migrant fleet again.
So no prison and no death penalty?
We don't have the spare resources for long-term incarceration. Monitored work detail is more effective. And we don't have enough people to afford executions. An exile can still have children, and those children are welcomed back to the fleet.
How often is someone from the fleet charged with treason?
It's rare. It must be something that affects the entire flotilla, not just one ship. The most recent one was Anora Vanya Vassilani, an engineer who handed over fleet defense schematics to the Batarians. She had good intentions. The Batarians were contracted to upgrade our systems, but they passed the defense schematics to a pirate gang.
Was she convicted?
No. She made a suicide run on the pirate gang. She destroyed them before they could attack the fleet. She was pardoned posthumously. Let's hope I don't have to prove my innocence that way.
So how does the trial work? How soon do we need to get you there?
They'll wait a reasonable period of time for me to come and defend myself. Eventually, if I don't show up, they'll try me in absentia. As for how it works, it's less formal than an Earth trial or something you'd see on the Citadel. We're family. This is just the worst kind of family meeting.
Okay, let's go find the flotilla.
I was going to book passage on another ship. I didn't think there would be time for you to help. Thank you, Shepard. I'll program the Normandy with the flotilla's current location. The admirals will be waiting for us. This is Talizora Vasnima Naraya, requesting permission to dock with the Raya.
Our system has your ship flagged as Cerberus. Verify.
After time adrift among open stars, along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Permission granted. Welcome home, Talizora.
We'd like a security and quarantine team to meet us. Our ship is not clean.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
Captain Shepard, Talizora told me a lot about you. I wish we could be meeting under more pleasant circumstances.
I never actually reached the rank of captain. Technically, I'm no longer in the Alliance military at all.
You're the commander of the Normandy, responsible for the lives aboard it. That entitles you to respect among our people. May you stand between your crew and harm as you lead them through the empty quarters of the stars.
Kila Salai. It's an old ship captain's blessing, Shepard.
Tali helped the Normandy's crew out of many difficult situations. I'm here to return the favor.
I understand. As the commander of the vessel she serves on, your voice carries weight. I wish I could do more to help Tali. The trial requires that I be officially neutral, but I'm here if you need to talk. They're charging you with bringing active Geth into the fleet as part of a secret project.
That's insane. I never brought active Geth aboard. I only sent parts and pieces.
You sent Geth materials back to the migrant fleet?
Yes, my father was working on a project. He needed the materials. If I sent back something that was only damaged, not permanently inactive, no, I checked everything. I was careful.
Technically, I'm under orders to place Tali Zora under arrest pending the hearing. So, Tali, you're confined to this ship until this trial is over.
Thank you, Captain.
Preparations got underway as soon as you arrived. The hearing's being held in the Garden Plaza. Good luck.
Tali Zora of us, Normandy. I am glad you came. I could delay them only so long.
Auntie Ron! Shepard vas Normandy, this is Admiral Shalaron vas Tonbe. She's a friend of my father's. Wait, Ron, you called me vas Normandy.
I'm afraid I did, Tali. The Admiralty Board moved to have you tried under that name, given your departure from the Nima.
You're an admiral. Does that mean you're one of the judges?
I'm afraid not. My history with Tali and her father forced me to recuse myself.
I imagine father had to do the same.
You'll see inside, Tali. For my part, I moderate and ensure that the rules of protocol are followed, but I have no vote in the judgment.
I take it being associated with the human ship is a bad sign.
They stripped me of my ship name. That's as good as declaring me exiled already.
It's not over yet, Tali. You have friends who still know you as Tali Zora vas Nima. Whatever we must call you legally.
I guess we should get started. Does Tali have a defense counselor? Someone who speaks for her side?
Indeed she does, Captain Shepard. She is part of your crew now, recognized by Quarian law. And remember, an accused is always represented by his or her ship's captain.
So, you would actually speak for my defense?
I'll do everything in my power to help you, Tali.
Thank you, Shepard. I could not ask for a better counselor.
Our legal rules are simple. There are no legal tricks or political loopholes for you to worry about. Present the truth as best you can. It will have to be enough. Now come. I promised that I would not delay you. This conclave is brought to order. Blessed are the ancestors who kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season. Keep us alive. The accused Tali Zora vas Normandy has come with her captain to defend herself against the charge of treason.
Objection! A human has no business at a hearing involving such sensitive military matters.
Then you should not have declared Tali crew of the Normandy, Admiral Chorus. By right as Tali's captain, Shepard must stay.
Objection withdrawn.
Shepard vas Normandy. Your crew member Tali Zora stands accused of treason. Will you speak for her?
If it helps Tali, I will. But in her heart, she remains Tali Zora vas Nima, a proud member of the migrant fleet. I regret that our captain is forbidden to stand at her side today.
Nobody has been forbidden from anything. It is a simple...
Lie to them if you must, Zalcoris, but don't lie to me and expect me to stay silent. The human is right.
Admirals, please. Shepard's willingness to represent Tali Zora in this hearing is appreciated. Tali, you're accused of bringing active Geth to the migrant fleet. What say you?
How could Tali have brought Geth to the fleet while serving on the Normandy?
To clarify, Shepard, Tali isn't accused of bringing back entire units, only parts that could spontaneously reactivate.
But I would never send active Geth to the fleet. Everything I sent was disabled and harmless.
Then explain how Geth seized the lab ship where your father was working.
What are you talking about? What happened?
As far as we can tell, Tali, the Geth have killed everyone on the Alari. Your father included.
What? Oh, Keela.
I appreciate the need for this trial, Admirals. But right now, our first concern must be the safety of the migrant fleet. The Normandy stands ready to assist in whatever capacity necessary.
Thank you. Quarian strike teams have attempted to retake the ship, so far without success.
Shepard, we have to take back the Alari.
The safest course would be to simply destroy the ship. But if you are looking for an honorable death instead of exile...
I'm looking for my father, you bastet!
You intend to retake the Alari from the Geth? This proposal is extremely dangerous.
With your permission, Admirals, yes. The good of the fleet must come first. And Tali needs to find her father.
Agreed. And if you die on this worthy mission, Tali, we will see that your name is cleared of these charges.
We can discuss that later.
Then it is decided. You will attempt to retake the Alari. You are hereby given leave to depart the Raya. A shuttle will be waiting at the secondary docking hangar. Be safe, Tali. This hearing will resume upon your return, or upon determination that you have been killed in action.
Thank you for agreeing to take back the Alari, Shepard. The Admiral sounds sure that my father is already dead, but... I don't know. We won't know anything until we get there.
How are you holding up? They just threw a lot of fire at you, even before telling you about your father.
I knew this would be bad, but I guess you're never really prepared to be charged with treason. And my father, I don't know. He could still be alive. They don't know for certain that he's dead. I just don't know, Shepard, and I need to find out.
Is there anyone here you want to talk to before we go?
We can talk with the Admirals. It might help us to see what their viewpoints are. But I doubt we'll change anyone's mind by talking to them privately.
Let's go.
Right. The sooner we get to the Alari, the sooner we'll know what happened.
Shepard, the secondary docking hangar is through the conclave chamber where you are now. The shuttle they have provided is unarmed.
Understood.
Whatever Geth are on the Alari have likely built more of themselves. Expect heavy resistance.
Shepard? How did you get onto the Raya?
Shepard is here to help me with my trial.
Oh yes, I heard about that. I hope you didn't really do what they said you did.
No, Vitor. I would never endanger the fleet.
Oh, well, good. So, can I help you with anything? I mean, probably not, but you helped me.
Tali could use some friends right now. Would you be willing to tell the Admirals how she helped you?
No, I mean, yes, but I already did. They came to see me. I didn't want to talk in a crowd.
Vitor is doing well, but he isn't ready for a public speech just yet.
I talked to them. So did that soldier, Cal Rieger. We both told them about how you helped us. I hope it helped.
I'm sure it did, Vitor. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, Vitor. Not many could have gone through what you did and come out sane.
I know. I didn't. But thank you, Commander. It's only because of your help that I've come this far.
Loyalty to the fleet is about more than just killing Geth. Talizor is guilty.
Cal Rieger.
Shepard, Talizora, good to see you both. Wish you were under better circumstances.
What did they get from our readings?
Damnedest things, just like they said. No way the son on Haster should have been acting that way.
So that dark energy theory is right. That's troubling.
Can't really comment on that, ma'am. I just shoot things.
What are you doing aboard the Raya? It sounds like you gave your report to the Admiralty already.
Well, I stayed to argue the charges against Tali Zora. I've served with her, and she deserves better than what she's getting.
Thanks, Cal.
Just stating facts, ma'am.
Have you had any luck talking to the Admiralty Board?
Admiral Ron asked my opinion about the Geth since I'd fought on Haster. She and Admiral Gerrel are hoping you'll kill a bunch of Geth to get the crowd on your side, then find evidence to clear your name. They were hesitant, but, well, you didn't have many other options, ma'am. I recommended getting you onto the Alari. I hope you can handle it.
You did the right thing. Thank you.
How have you been, Rieger? You took kind of a beating on Haster.
Physical damage wasn't bad. I was down for about a week with infection, though. Figure I got off easy. I don't have to face those admirals.
With your immune systems, it couldn't be easy for Quarians to fight a war. You'd lose more people to infection than injury.
We can't afford a frontline attack, that's for sure. Have to fight smart. Ideally from orbit.
We do have stockpiles of antibiotics. It's not as though everyone would die from a single shot.
No, Shepard's right. You've only seen our strike ops, Tali. Don't have all the fancy equipment in a frontline fight. Supplies get strained. Things get ugly, fast.
We should get going.
Good luck on the Alari. Stay safe out there.
Tali Zora, given the circumstances, are you certain that speaking to me is appropriate?
I'm looking for information about the Alari. I don't intend to bribe you in the middle of the plaza, Admiral.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander Shepard. We owe you a debt of gratitude for your actions against the Geth.
Tali was with me. Saren and the Geth would have destroyed us all without her help.
Your political machinations are transparent, Commander. They are also unnecessary. If you and your father were actually experimenting on active Geth subjects, then you are simply idiots. No reason to waste resources on a trial. If not, then this was a tragic accident in the pursuit of a higher cause. Again, no trial is needed to determine that.
Can you tell me anything about the Alari?
Little. We detected several communication signatures before the Geth jammed the comm systems. Given the likely networked intelligence requirements for taking over a ship, expect between 10 and 50 units.
Then this can't have anything to do with me. I only sent parts and pieces, and certainly not enough to make that many Geth.
It sounds like your ideas about synthetics are in the minority.
Yes, at least on the Admiralty board, Han Gerrel sees an enemy that must be crushed. Zalcorus would run away and hide on some new colony world. Shalaran is still undecided. I had thought Rael to be firmly in Han's camp, but if his experiments were on active Geth, perhaps we have ideas in common.
You support experiments on living creatures?
Rael should have felt no more guilt experimenting on Geth than I did while performing surgery on a childhood toy.
The fact that you performed surgery on your childhood toys explains a great deal, Admiral.
A ship travels faster than I can. With the right programming, it can choose locations, even defend itself when attacked. But it is just a machine. It was built for the sole purpose of serving its master, and it can be dismantled whenever its master desires.
If you're not interested in this trial, why not recuse yourself?
And let that aging warship Han Gerrel and the cowardly Zalcorus be the ones to chart this course? I think not. The broader purpose underlying the trial is too important. Tali Zora is only peripherally related. No offense intended.
And what is the true purpose of this trial, Admiral?
To determine whether Quarians should fear their past mistakes or reclaim their glory using our natural affinity for artificial intelligence.
So the only reason you care about this is because Rael might have learned something valuable from the Geth?
Indeed. If he has, then even in this accident we may find something worthwhile.
You want to create new AIs?
No, Tali Zora. I wish to return the Geth to the control of their rightful masters, the Quarian race.
You're insane.
Thank you for the information.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Commander.
You set me up, Shala. You told Captain Donna not to say anything? I don't hear that my father may be dead until I'm in the trial? Why?
The admirals needed to hear the shock in your voice, Tali. Otherwise, they might not have let you try to retake the Alari. That is your best chance at recovering evidence that can exonerate you. I am sorry. We cannot afford sensitivity, Tali.
I know you're trying to help her, Admiral, but that was over the line.
She has nobody else to speak for her, Shepard. I am doing everything in my power. That's what her father would have wanted.
Don't say it like that. He could still be alive on that ship.
You should get to the Alari soon. Is there anything else I can tell you?
How long have you known Tali's family?
Since before Riel was an admiral. 25 or 30 years, I'd guess. I was there when Tali was born. Her mother and I had synced up our suits so we could be in the same open-air room. I was sick for a week, but it was worth it. I was the one who took Tali from her mother and put her in the bubble. She cried so hard.
I don't understand. You put your children in bubbles?
Environmental units. It's a step between relying on the mother's immune system through nursing and getting a suit of one's own.
The bubbles let parents take their children out of the clean rooms safely. We don't wear suits until adolescence.
There's a celebration when a child gets her first suit. It's a coming of age.
What kind of evidence will carry weight with the Admirals?
Tali, you admitted to sending Geth parts to your father for his project.
Yes, but never anything that could have come back online on its own. I took every possible precaution.
Then find records of your shipment and experiments. Something that proves you were careful. Something that proves that this is all just a terrible accident that nobody could have foreseen.
There seem to be some other arguments going on among the Admirals.
You caught that? Yes, the Geth's presence makes this a touchy issue. The Admiralty Board is trying to determine whether to focus on colonial development or attempt to retake the homeworld.
You're thinking of war? With the Geth?
I am not, Tali, but others are.
I know the migrant fleet is formidable, but even you can't take on the Geth.
We grow tired of wandering the stars, Shepard. We want our world back. We have paid enough for our mistake. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm telling you which way the wind is blowing.
What can you tell us about the Alari?
Not much, I'm afraid. Real Zora only said that he was researching new defense technology.
He told me only that he needed any Geth parts or pieces I found. I assumed he was testing weapons on Geth components.
We knew nothing until the Alari sent a distress signal, then went dead. We didn't even know about the Geth until a boarding team was attacked.
You're saying there's no data about the inside of the ship?
That's exactly what I am saying. The Marines who survived and escaped saw bodies in the halls. We must assume the worst.
No, we don't.
We should move on.
Good luck on the Alari.
Tali, I'm glad Admiral Ran got you leave to hit the Alari. Hopefully you'll find something that clears your name.
I'm more concerned with finding my father, Admiral.
I wish you luck. Blow up some Geth on the way. And your Captain Shepard, Admiral Hangarel Vasnima. You got Admiral Corris backing up worse than a Krogan toilet. I'm glad to see Tali's captain knows how to handle a courtroom.
I get the sense you're inclined to believe the defense. I'm glad one of the judges is.
If you were only giving Rail inactive equipment for weapons tests, I've got no problem. We need to test weapons against Geth material. I know you and your father. You put too much of yourselves into this fleet to do anything to jeopardize our safety. And you're both smart enough not to make mistakes like the ones they're saying you made.
Can you tell me anything about the Alari?
Nothing good. We sent some of our best Marines into that hellhole. Damn few made it back. Whatever Rail was doing, it blew up in his face. The ship is crawling with Geth. Don't go in expecting survivors.
Admiral, my father, your friend, is on that ship.
I know that, Tali, but if Shala hadn't suggested you might volunteer, we'd already have destroyed the Alari. That's where we stand.
Can you tell me about the other admirals? Anything that might help me change their minds about Tali?
The one you didn't recognize, Tali, is Admiral Zen. She's on the fence. She takes fleet safety very seriously. On the other hand, she's always been in favor of studying the Geth. I hope she sees the benefits of Rail's research. Admiral Corus is the same whining suit-wetter he always was.
You disagree with Admiral Corus's policies, I'm guessing. Or is it personal?
The man is a damn Geth apologist. Thinks we were wrong to try to destroy them centuries ago. He wants us to search for new colony possibilities instead of taking back the home world. Any research on the Geth makes him angry. You don't have much of a chance with him, I'm afraid.
You and Tali's father go back a long ways?
We served together on the gunship Yaska during a bad Batarian raid. We were kids, serving pre-pilgrimage as trainees. Crew of 10, and 6 were dead. Kinetic barriers were down. Rail and I were alone on the bridge, and the Batarians had drawn off a tramp freighter.
Did you save the freighter?
Our ship was under orders to hold position, but Rail looked at me and said, "We're underage. They can't charge us for breaking formation." He took the helm, I took weapons, and we brought that freighter back. The crew called us heroes. The brass called us idiots. They slapped medals on our suits, then kicked us off to pilgrimage a bit earlier than usual. That's Rail for you.
It sounds like we're dealing with more politics than just Tali bringing back equipment.
You noticed that, did you? Tali's father wasn't just running weapons tests on the Geth for fun. He was looking for something to give us an edge when we attacked the Geth in full-scale war.
I know Father wanted to retake the homeworld someday, but are we that close?
I don't know, kid. We almost had the votes. We just need to give people hope for victory.
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral, but it sounds like you're playing with fire.
We're too comfortable now, Shepard. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy and we just ride around doing nothing.
We might need that fleet to help fight the Reapers, Admiral.
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
Thanks for the information.
Hang in there, kid.
Thank you, Admiral.
Judging by your ability to play to a crowd, human, I have done Tali a favor by stripping Vas Nima from her name.
Commander Shepard, this is Admiral Zalcorus Vas Quibquib. Do not ask about the name.
I take no pleasure in this, Tali, truly. You have gravely endangered and dishonored our fleet.
Can you tell me anything about the Alari?
Only that you should have let us destroy it. When we find the evidence of what Tali and her father did there, any hope of convincing the other admirals will die.
I did not bring active Geth to the Alari, Admiral. I know how dangerous that would be. I only brought pieces.
The captured ship with its crew slaughtered by living beings in pain belies your argument.
You have a ship named Quibquib?
Oh, here we go.
Our people have, during difficult periods, purchased pre-owned vessels from other cultures, and have, on occasion, had difficulty altering the ship's registry information. The citizens of these foreign-named ships have borne the stigma of these names with grace and honor.
If it bothers you, maybe you should find another ship.
I've occasionally entertained the idea of requesting a transfer. Something with a nice, respectable name, like the Defrons or the Ictomy. But I am proud of the Quibquib, and I will not flee because of petty insults.
What exactly is your problem with my crew member, Admiral?
I respect Tali immensely. Her actions against Saren are to be lauded. But, like her father, she wants nothing but the destruction of the Geth. The people we created, the people we wronged.
The Geth drove us from our homeworld.
Of course they did. We tried to kill them.
You and the other admirals appear to have some disagreements beyond Tali's trial.
You are correct. Tali, I apologize for it being brought into your proceedings. The other admirals are pushing for war. Rail Zora was researching new weapons to use against the Geth. They would see our fleet destroyed in the skies over our homeworld, rather than find a new colony and adapt.
Can the Quarians coexist with the Geth after all your history?
I don't know. We all deserve to find out. They are our children, Shepard. We have all done horrible things to each other, but it has to end. For both groups. That is why I cannot sanction whatever experiments you helped enable, Talizora. I believe this message needs to be sent.
I understand, Admiral. I do not agree with you, but I understand.
We should move on.
Goodbye, Talizora. Be well.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I don't hate you, Tali. I just think your father's plans for war were wrong.
About more than just killing Geth. Talizora is dead.
Talizora Vas Nima. Oh, sorry. I mean Vas Normandy.
No offense taken. The change in name was not my choice.
Per Admiral Rand's orders, the shuttle is prepared for you and Captain Shepard Vas Normandy.
Can you tell us anything about what we'll find on the Alari?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Not many Marines made it back from the initial assault. They talked about massive waves of Geth, though. More than there should have been.
There shouldn't have been any at all.
Right. I mean that they're afraid the Geth are building or repairing more of themselves from materials on the Alari.
Let's head to the Alari.
Of course. I'll unlock the shuttle now. Good luck with those Geth, Talizora. Kila Selai.
This console might have something. Most of the data is corrupted, but a few bits are left. They were performing experiments on Geth systems, looking for new ways to overcome Geth resistance to reprogramming.
Do you think testing weapons on the Geth was right?
It's not testing weapons on prisoners, Shepard. I only sent Father parts. Even if he assembled them, they wouldn't be sapient. You saw what Saren and Sovereign did with the Geth. Any research that gives us an advantage is important.
Did you know what kind of tests your father was running?
No, Father just told me to send back any Geth technology I could find that wasn't a direct danger to the fleet. I suspected he might be testing weapons, but I thought he was just working on new ways to bypass shields or armor.
Could any of that data clear your name?
Doubtful. This is mostly results data, effects of different disruptive hacking techniques. I don't understand all of it. But they may have been activating the Geth deliberately. I don't know. Nothing here says specifically, but if they were, then Father was doing something terrible. What was all this, Father? You promised you'd build me a house on the homeworld. Was this going to bring us back home?
Maybe it's time for your people to let go of reclaiming your world from the Geth.
You have no idea what it's like. You have a planet to go back to. My home is one hull breach away from extinction.
You've got a place here, Tali. Don't throw it away in a war you don't need.
Don't need? Shepard, if I don't wear a helmet in my own home, I die. A single kiss could put me in the hospital. Every time you touch a flower with bare fingers, inhale its fragrance without air filters, you're doing something I can't. Damn the pilgrimage. Without it, I might never have known what I was missing, what we had lost when we lost our homeworld.
We should keep moving.
Right. No. You always had a plan. Masked life signs or an onboard medical stasis program, maybe. You wouldn't. They're wrong. You wouldn't just die like this. You wouldn't.
Hey, come here.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
You've got nothing to be sorry about.
Maybe he would have known I'd come. Maybe he left a message.
Tali, if you are listening, then I am dead. The Geth have gone active. I don't have much time. Their main hub will be on the bridge. You'll need to destroy it to stop their VI processes from forming new neural links. Make sure Hangerl and Darozen see the data. They must.
Thanks, Dad.
He knew you'd come for him. He was trying to help you. It's not perfect. It's not what you wanted. But it's the best he could do.
I don't know what's worse. Thinking he never really cared, or thinking that he did, and that this was the only way he could show it. It doesn't matter. One way or the other, I cared. And I'm here. And we're ending this. Incoming!
Launch hostile! Look sharp!
Combat throws away.
Felt that one!
This console is linked to the main hub Father mentioned. Disabling it shut down any Geth we missed. It looks like some of the recordings remained intact. They'll tell us how this happened, what Father did.
You sound like you don't really want to hear it.
No. We have to. I know. This is terrible, Shepard. I don't want to know that he was part of this.
Do we have enough parts to bring more online?
Yes, the new shipment from your daughter will let us add 2 more Geth to the network.
We're nearing a breakthrough on systemic viral attacks. Perhaps we should inform the Admiralty Board, just to be safe.
No. We're too close. I promised to build my daughter a house on the home world. I'm not going to sit and wait while the politicians argue.
We'd have an easier time of it if Tali Zora could send back more working material.
Absolutely not. I don't want Tali exposed to any political blowback. Leave Tali out of this. Assemble a new Geth with what we have. Bypass security protocols if need be.
It sounds like he was doing this for you.
I never wanted this, Shepard. Keela, I never wanted this. Everything here is his fault. I tried to pretend it didn't point to him, but this... When this comes up in the trial, they'll... We can't tell them. Not the admirals, not anyone.
Tali, without this evidence, you're looking at exile.
You think I don't know that? You think I want to live knowing that I can never see the fleet again? But I can't go back into that room and say that my father was the worst war criminal in our people's history. I cannot.
Rail Zora doesn't need you to worry about him anymore. You heard him say he didn't want you to be caught in the politics.
You don't understand, Shepard. They would strike his name from the manifest of every ship he ever served on. He would be worse than an exile. He'd be a traitor to our people, held up for children as a monster in a cautionary tale. I can't let all the good he did be destroyed for this, Shepard.
We're not going to decide anything here. Let's see what the Admirals say once we get back.
You're my captain in this hearing, Shepard. It's your decision. But please, don't destroy what my father was. Come on. If we wait too long, they'll decide we're already dead, and none of this will matter.
We need to face facts. There has been no word. There is no reason to think Tali Zora survived.
It sounds like the hearing is already underway.
We must trust Shepard, Commander. It's only been a few hours. The Quarian Marines lasted less than 5.
Very well. Is the Admiralty Board prepared to render judgment?
Sorry we're late.
We cleared the Geth from the Alari. It should be safe for your people to return.
Thank you. We sincerely appreciate your efforts to aid the Quarian people.
Did you find anything on the Alari that could clarify what happened there?
Shepard, please.
Does Captain Shepard have any new evidence to submit to this hearing?
Tali helped me defeat Saren and the Geth at the Citadel. That should be all the evidence you need.
I fail to see what relevance...
You're not really interested in Tali, are you? This trial isn't about her. It's about the Geth.
This hearing has nothing to do with the Geth.
You want people to sympathize with them. And Garrow wants to go to war. None of you care about Tali. She knows more about the Geth than any other Quarian alive. You should be listening to her, not putting her on trial. Tali Zora saved the Citadel. She saved the Alari. She showed the galaxy the value of the Quarian people. I can't think of stronger evidence than that.
Are the Admirals prepared to render the judgment? Tali Zora, in light of your history of service, we do not find sufficient evidence to convict. You are cleared of all charges. Commander Shepard, please accept these gifts in appreciation for you taking the time to represent one of our people.
With all due respect, Admiral, I didn't represent one of your people. I represented one of mine.
So you did, Shepard.
This hearing is concluded. Go in peace, Tali Zora vas Normandy. Kila Salai.
I can't believe you pulled that off. What you said. I've never had anyone speak like that on my behalf. Thank you for being there for my father and me. Even when... Thank you.
Well, you can still go back in and get you exiled if you want.
Thanks. But I'm fine with things like this. It's fun watching you shout.
Tali, about what your father said, what he did. You deserve better.
I got better, Shepard. I got you.
Come on, Tali Zora vas Normandy. Let's get back to our ship.
Thank you, Captain.
Now what's this?
Keela, I'm sorry I dragged you into Quarian politics. All that infighting, seeing what my father did. You were the only one there for me, Shepard. The only cover I had against that storm. Thank you.
I imagine they're trying to fill your father's spot on the Admiralty Board. What will that do to the balance of power?
I have no idea. Being exiled might have made it easier. A few people are suggesting me as a candidate. Replacing an admiral takes time, though. You may not have noticed, but Quarians like to debate.
Are Quarian politics always like that?
No. Sometimes it can actually get unpleasant. We're a very social people, Shepard. We have to be, to make up for being stuck in these suits. And part of that means getting involved in each other's business.
The whole trial was insulting. You should have had time to mourn your father.
I don't think life is about what you deserve. But my father would be honored that I chose to mourn him by blowing up a lot of Geth. I should get back to work. But thanks for checking on me. Some of this reminds me of life on the flotilla. Cramped and crowded with no real privacy. And the people don't work together toward a common goal. There's no sense of family here. Just fear.
You're the best, Commander. We just got those FBA couplings installed. Now we only have to calibrate every week instead of every day. We're thinking about celebrating our newfound free time with some Skillian 5 poker. Want to join us?
Come on, Kenneth. The Commander doesn't want to play cards with grease monkeys like us.
Actually, that sounds interesting.
You in, Tali?
Sure, that sounds fun.
Fantastic. I'll get the cards.
I hope you're up for some competition.
Oh no. What did I get myself into?
This should be good.
Shit, you play some mean cards, Shepard.
And I thought I had a good poker face.
I've never seen Kenneth sweat like that.
You're all right, Shepard. Most officers wouldn't fraternize with the likes of us.
Shepard is no ordinary officer.
Thanks, Commander.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Sure. Let me just... Come on, you little boshtet! Oh, sorry. I've got a small fever and I'm taking it out on the poor drive core. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Got sloppy while doing some suit repair.
You're sick? Do you need help or time to rest?
Really, it's not that bad. If a stray bit of bacteria could really kill us, we'd have all died by now. The fever should go away in a day or two. Don't worry. It won't affect my performance on the mission. It's not even an illness, really. What we experience is actually an acute allergic reaction.
I don't know if I could live inside a suit my whole life.
We are in our suits even among family. The most intimate thing we can do with another Quarian is link our suit environments. We get sick at first, and then we adapt. It's our most important gesture of trust, of acceptance. I haven't trusted anyone enough for that, though. Except... well, no Quarians. You know what I mean.
I appreciate the thought, Tali, and I feel the same way. But you don't have to prove anything to me.
I know. Well, not that I know, but I didn't mean it like that. It's a... wow, it's really hot in here. It's just that the tradition also signifies a willingness for, intimacy. I wasn't trying to... It's not always like that. It's more... how did we even end up talking about this?
Wait a minute. It sounds like you're suggesting something, Tali.
What could I possibly be suggesting? I mean, a young woman gets rescued by a dashing commander who lets her join his crew and then goes off to save the galaxy? How could she possibly develop any kind of interest in him?
You have nothing to be embarrassed about, Tali. I feel the same way about you.
Really? I didn't know... You never... Well, good. Anyway, I should get back to work. But thanks for coming by and talking.
Miss those talks we had on the elevators?
No.
Come on, remember how we'd all ask you about life on the flotilla? It was an opportunity to share.
This conversation is over.
Tell me again about your immune system.
I have a shotgun.
Maybe we'll talk later.
Pilgrimage. It's a tradition in which...
Look, you can take your traditions and cram them. Every time a Quarian shows up here, it's trouble.
You say she stole your credit chit?
She must have. When I left the Certa Foundation store, she ran right into me.
How does running India mean she stole your credit chit?
That's how pickpockets work. They bump into you and use that as a cover for rifling your pockets. You can't turn your back on these clanless Quarians. Thieves, all of them.
Quarians are only forced to steal when people like you won't let them have real jobs.
And to think my taxes pay to support you here. Go back to your fleet, clanless.
I am Clan Zora, crew of the starship Nima, and you are an idiot.
My first instinct was to help you, but I don't like your attitude.
I don't like the company you keep.
Hey, both of you, calm down. Corton, I know you're upset, but that's no excuse to insult everyone around you.
I'll see if I can find out what happened.
Sir, this is a C-Sec matter. We'll do all we can to resolve this. We don't need civilian help. If you do happen to find the chit, please let one of our officers know.
Let's go.
Be careful out there.
Welcome to Sovereignist Applications. Can I interest you? Ah, Shepard!
Do I know you?
No, but I know you. Even a senile Hanar would remember the human who fought off the Geth. I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot.
Please, look around the store. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Volus was in here not too long ago. Did he drop a credit chit?
Oh, yes. He bought some environmental system drivers, then left without his chit. I didn't notice he'd left until he was already gone. If you see him, tell him I have it here behind the counter.
Thanks. He'll be glad to hear that.
Not a problem. Have a good day.
You know what Quarians are like.
Please move along.
You forgot your credit chit at Saronis Applications. The clerk is holding it for you.
Oh. Well, the Quarian could have stolen it.
I'll close this event report, but I'll be watching you. Get a permanent residence, or I'll run you in for me.
Are you two serious?
What?
You falsely accused this girl of stealing from you. All you have to say now is that she could have stolen it?
Now, just a minute.
And you? She gets harassed and insulted by this guy, and you throw in a threat to arrest her for vagrancy?
How about if I run you in for obstruction of justice?
You think you're gonna run in a Spectre? I think both of you should get out of here.
Son of a...
Thank you. I wish I could give you something more than words.
Can you take care of yourself from here?
I guess. I mean, most nights I eat nutrient paste in a Turian shelter, but I'm surviving.
Good luck, Liabael.
Thanks.
Odd jobs for shifty people. Ducked rats take whatever is available to get by. Data running, fencing stolen goods, selling illegal VI personalities. Actually, he was selling one of you.
Me?
Yeah, when you erased a file, it would say, I delete data like you on the way to real errors.
That's pretty extreme, Shepard.
Laugh it up, Tali.
Buggy, though. It crashed every half hour. The error message was about how the galaxy was at stake, and you should fix the problem yourself.
We've gone 5 days without a workplace death.
Shepard, Commander.
The sniper was a Geth. Since when do Geth talk to one another?
It shouldn't be able to talk. A single Geth has no more intelligence than a Baron. Nothing's faster than Jatiga. So the... Hostile spotted. Deploying combat drone. Ready to fight.
Concussive shot ready.
Go for the optics, Stratega. Go for the optics.
Shepard, you want something done with that Geth? It's still intact.
Leave it there. You know what they are. If it gets into Normandy's computers...
You said it yourself. No one's ever found one intact.
That's true, but I'm not sure it's worth the risk, Shepard.
There's no time to debate it, Tali. Come on.
Hang on, folks.
Open the port side airlock. We're clear. Go.
Hey, got a minute? Tali is so cute. You're all she talks about in that sweet rainbows and butterflies kind of way. She loves you, Shepard. Be good to her.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Yes, I'd like that. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. I'm sorry. I was unprofessional, and I wasn't thinking rationally. I was being stupid and selfish.
You've never been selfish. If anything, you spent too much time thinking of the fleet and not enough thinking of yourself.
That might be true for humans, but Quarians are different. We can't just... We have to think of other people. Always. If we don't think about the needs of the whole crew, people could get hurt. Maybe even killed. You deserve to be happy with someone. I can't do that. No matter how much I could get sick, jeopardize the mission.
And if you weren't jeopardizing anything?
If it were just me, You risked your own life to save the colonists on Pharaohs 2 years ago. Nobody else could have saved them. I watched your face as Lieutenant Alenko died on Vermeer. I watched you stand strong against everything the galaxy threw at you. I've watched you for so long, and I never imagined you'd ever see past this.
Are you saying you could die if we were together?
It's always a risk. Maybe the reaction would be minor. Maybe it would put me down for a few weeks, or maybe it would kill me. But that's not what I'm concerned about, Shepard. I don't want you distracted. I don't want what I want to hurt this mission. It's too important.
Tali, if you're scared, I don't blame you. But I don't want anyone else. I want you. And I'll do whatever I have to make this work.
I wouldn't blame you if, but... Oh, thank you. You don't know what that... Thank you. Give me a little time. I'll do some research, figure out how to make this work.
What can you do? Can I help?
There are a few ways to temporarily improve my immune system. Immunoboosters, antibiotic injections, that kind of thing. I'll spare you the details. But trust me, I've got plenty of motivation to figure something out.
It can't be that uncommon for a Quarian to have a relationship with another race.
Sure, but in most cases everything is happening outside the suit. Nerve stimulation programs and such. I don't want that. If I'm going to be with you, I want it to be real. I need to feel your skin on mine. I've never shown my face to anyone. But I'm ready to show you, if I can do it without dying.
Do your research quickly, Miss Vast Normandy. Captain's orders.
Right. Yes, definitely. Until then, I should, do something. Repairs for the mission. Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
For you? Of course. I can't tell you how much what you said means to me. But I understand if you need to find someone else. Not that I'm complaining if you're still interested. Are you still interested?
I don't want to risk your health. But I'm willing to wait.
Thank you. I want you to see what's under this damn helmet. I need to feel your skin against mine. To share myself with you before we fly off into the final battle. I'll find a way.
Wanted to talk. Medical matters. Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Past relationship with Talizora makes dalliance attractive as stress release. Still, recommend caution. Quarian immune system weak. Could kill her.
You have a recommendation as a doctor?
Talizora acquired antiseptic. Recommend you self-sterilize as well. Oral contact with tissue dangerous. Take precautions. Also forwarding advice booklet to your quarters. Valuable diagrams, positions comfortable for both species, erogenous zone overviews. Can supply oils or ointments to reduce discomfort. Gave ED electronic relationship aid demonstration vids to use as necessary.
Wait a minute, Borden. You're just yanking me around, aren't you?
Shocking suggestion. Doctor-patient confidentiality, a sacred trust. Would never dream of mockery. Enjoy yourself while possible, Shepard. We'll be here studying cell reproduction. Much simpler, less alcohol and mood music required.
So, I've taken some antibiotics as well as some herbal supplements that should bolster my immune system. I was going to bring music, but I didn't know what you'd like. And I'm babbling like an idiot.
It's okay. Come here.
I just don't want to. I want this to work. I thought it over. I've minimized the risks, but I'm still nervous, and that always makes me talk too much. It's a defense mechanism, and it's stupid, and people who just see the helmet can't see my expression, so I have to make it clear what I'm feeling.
Shepard, I wish I had more information for you. I don't like you heading through that relay blind, but we don't have much choice.
I'm not going alone. I've got some of the best working with me. If we stick together, we'll make it.
I knew we brought you back for a reason. I've never seen a better leader. Despite the danger, it's a great opportunity. The first human to take a ship through and survive.
I'm going to destroy the Collectors, to stop their attacks on humanity.
Understood. It's still impressive. I just wanted you to know I appreciate the risk you're taking. Regardless of your opinion of Cerberus, of me, you are a valuable asset to all of humanity. Be careful, Shepard.
Approaching Omega 4 relay. Everyone stand by.
Let's make it happen.
Reaper IFF activated. Signal acknowledged.
Commander, the drive core just lit up like a Christmas tree.
Drive core electrical charge at critical levels.
Rerouting.
Brace for deceleration.
Ah, shit! Too close. Well, these must be all the ships that tried to make it through the Omega 4 relay. Some look ancient.
I have detected an energy signature near the edge of the accretion disk.
Has to be the Collector base. Take us in for a closer look. Nice and easy.
Careful, Jeff. We have company.
Taking evasive maneuvers. Yeah, they're just pissing me off. Edie, take these bastards out!
As long as the new plating holds.
They want another round? Come on, girl, let's give it to them.
On engineering deck.
It's in the cargo hold.
I'll take a team and deal with the intruder. You get the rest of them off our tail.
Aye, aye, Command.
Shield.
We're sitting ducks out here.
Kinetic barriers are not designed to survive impact with debris that size, Shepard.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we upgraded. We're going in! Come on, find some room.
Kinetic barriers at 40%.
Reroute non-critical power. This is gonna hurt. Damage report.
Kinetic barriers steady at 30%. No significant damage.
Take the helm, Edie, and keep it slow. See if we can avoid any more attention.
I have detected an enemy heading for the cargo hold.
That thing again. This one's up to Shepard.
Watch for heavy fire.
Heavy weapons will be required to damage this enemy. Force fire!
I think it's going to stay dead this time.
Better get back up here, Commander.
We're about to clear the debris field.
There it is. The collector base.
This isn't how we planned this mission, but this is where we're at. We can't worry about whether the Normandy can get us home. We came to stop the Collectors, and that means coming up with a plan to take out this station. Edie, bring up your scans.
You should be able to overload their critical systems if you get to the main control center here.
That means going through the heart of the station, right past this massive energy signature.
That's the central chamber. If our crew, or any of the colonists, are still alive, the Collectors are probably holding them in there.
Looks like there are two main routes. Might be a good idea to split up to keep the Collectors off balance, then regroup in the central chamber.
No good. Both routes are blocked. See these doors? The only way past is to get someone to open them from the other side.
It's not a fortress. There's got to be something. Here, maybe we can send someone in through this ventilation shaft.
Practically a suicide mission. I volunteer.
I appreciate the thought, Jacob, but you couldn't shut down the security systems in time. We need to send a tech expert.
It's your call, Commander. Who do we send into the shaft?
We need someone with tech skills to hack that security system. Tali, you're up.
I won't let you down.
The rest of us will break into two teams and fight down each passage. That should draw the Collector's attention away from what you're doing.
I'll lead the second fire team, Shepard. We'll meet up with you on the other side of the doors.
Not so fast, cheerleader. Nobody wants to take orders from you.
This isn't a popularity contest. Lives are at stake. Shepard, you need someone who can command loyalty through experience.
Garrus, you're in charge of the second team.
Well, at least he knows what he's doing.
I don't know what we're gonna find in there, but I won't lie to you. It's not gonna be easy. We've lost good people. We may lose more. The Collectors attacked our ship. They took our crew, our friends. They think we're helpless. They're wrong. They started a war, but we're not here to finish it. We're here to make them regret. To show them and everyone else what happens when you go too far. No more running, and no more waiting. Let's hit them where they live. Second team, are you in position?
In position. Meet you on the other side of those doors.
We've been spotted.
Garrus here. We're taking heavy fire, but we're moving forward.
Alert. Reinforcement. Emergency field engaged.
I'm stuck. Something's blocking the pipe. Looks like some kind of gate.
There is a valve by the ventilation shaft. That will likely clear the obstruction.
The gate is open. Moving forward.
Trouble incoming!
I will direct this personally.
I'm blocked again. You need to find another valve outlet.
Damn! Up there!
Attack.
Garrus here. We're making good progress. Meet you at the rendezvous.
Your form is fragile.
Looks like another one of those things in the way. Got to help me out again, Shepard. All clear. Moving on.
We're in position, just waiting for the doors to
Ignore the fallen.
Abandon battle.
Preserve Shepard's body if possible. Neutralize Commander Shepard. We are not finished. Assuming direct control.
I'm blocked again. You need to find another valve out there.
Fire it.
You will know pain, Shepard.
Hurry, Shepard. It's heating up in here. The gate is open. Moving forward.
I will show you true power.
Looks like another one of those things in the way. Got to help me out again, Shepard. Nice work, Shepard. Continuing down the tube.
Direct intervention is necessary.
Alert. Reinforcements detected.
Moving on. Should be near the end now.
Abandon battle.
One more valve to go, Shepard. You know the drill.
Come in. Look out! Seeker spawn!
We're in position. We need this door open, now!
Go, we'll cover you!
Something's wrong. The door's stuck. it!
Here they come! Fall back!
Suppressing fire! Don't let anyone through that door!
Nice work, Tali. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Hold on, we're almost there.
We should proceed quickly, Shepard, Commander.
All right, let's move. They're pushing! Keep it up!
Hurry, Shepard!
I copy. What's your position?
We're pinned down at the door, taking heavy fire.
We're coming. Just hold on. Get this door open. Come on! Seal the door! Joker, are you at the rendezvous point?
I'm here, Commander. Chakwas and the rest of the crew just showed up.
Grunt's group just arrived, Shepard. No casualties.
Excellent. Now let's make it count. Edie, what's our next step?
There should be some nearby platforms that will take you to the main control console. From there, you can overload the system and destroy the base.
Commander, you got a problem. Hostiles massing just outside the door. Won't be long till I bust through.
A rear guard could defend this position and keep the collectors from overwhelming us.
Pick a team to go with you, Shepard. Everyone else can bunker down here and cover your back.
I'm ready, Commander.
Ready.
Anything to say before we do this?
The collectors blindside their targets. Hit and run. As powerful as they are, they're cowards. They've never had to stand and fight the best of us. That's you. It's been a long journey, and no one's coming out without scars. But it all comes down to this moment. We win or lose it all in the next few minutes. Make me proud. Make yourselves proud.
We'll do our best. Good luck, Shepard.
Target processed.
Boss.
Hush, she's right over there.
Ah, she can't hear us with her head in that bucket. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful bucket. The whole suit is lovely, quite snug in all the right places.
You know I can hear you.
Huh.
Just so you know, I'm running a fever, I've got a nasty cough, and my sinuses are filled with something I can't even describe. And it was totally worth it.
Commander Shepard, a pleasure to see you again, though I wish it were under better circumstances.
I'd hoped for your support in the fight against the Reapers. What's going on?
17 days ago, with precision strikes on 4 Geth systems, the Quarians initiated the war to retake our homeworld.
Which was a clear violation of our agreement with the Council to avoid provoking the Geth.
A treaty violation is nothing compared to recovering our homeworld and advanced AI technology.
You're throwing yourselves at the Geth? Again?
And this time, we may have destroyed our people for good.
We'd driven the Geth back to the home system, when this signal began broadcasting to all Geth ships.
The Reapers.
Under Reaper control, the Geth are significantly more effective. Our fleet is pinned in the home system. If we're going to win,
Win? You insisted on involving the civilian ships, Admiral Gerrel. We need to retreat or we'll lose the live ships.
Where's the signal coming from?
Here. A Geth Dreadnought. It can outgun anything we've got, and it's heavily defended.
The Normandy stealth drive can get us in undetected. I could board, then disable the Reaper command signal.
Yes, cutting off the signal should throw the Geth into complete disarray.
And while they're confused, you get to a mass relay and retreat.
Good. Our civilian ships have seen too much fighting already. Are you certain you can disable the signal?
We'll get you out of there safely, Admiral.
Our newest Admiral has also volunteered to offer technical expertise.
Shepard.
Tali. Admirals, I'll ready a team to hit that Dreadnought.
Thank you, Commander.
Admiral?
It's mostly a formality. I'm an expert on the Geth.
That you are.
I'm glad you're here.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have helped.
Thanks, but I knew you had your own problems. I'm sorry about Earth. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy. If you can help us, we'll hit the Reapers with everything we've got. Or however much is left from this stupid war.
I thought you'd support the invasion.
No. After talking to Legion, I thought maybe there was a chance for peace.
So why help them?
I'm an admiral. People look to me for guidance. Public disagreement would divide the fleet.
And what about us? Would us being together divide the fleet?
No. Well, possibly. I don't know. But right now, I've got civilian ships taking fire. Can we keep this quiet? At least in front of the admirals?
Sure thing, Miss Vas Normandy.
Thank you. If you want to talk in private, maybe you could invite me up to your cabin?
Maybe I could.
And for the record, still totally worth it.
All right. Once we're aboard, we find whatever's broadcasting the Reaper signal and shut it down. Tali's our expert on Geth software. She'll be handling hacking and security.
Good to have you back, Tali. And maybe with another Dextro aboard, they'll get better Turian food.
As long as it's sterilized.
Dr. Michelle did get me some Dextro Amino chocolate. You're welcome to it once we're back.
She got you Turian chocolate?
She said she saw it and thought of me. Why?
Oh, nothing.
Shepard, there's a problem. All tubes except one are physically secured.
I see the free one. Pretty torn up, though.
Too risky for the whole team. I'll secure the docking area. Everyone else can follow me over.
Roger that, Commander. We'll just stay here. You know, quietly.
Hang tight. It'll just be a minute. Tali, you're gonna like the view.
Better than a vid?
Much.
How are you doing, Shepard?
The lack of gravity is a little disorienting.
The Dreadnought has artificial gravity. You should be okay once you're on board.
I found another airlock. I think we're good to go.
Great. If you override the controls, we'll be right there.
Got it. You're clear to board. See any action? All quiet so far. They haven't detected us yet.
Thank you for having me over.
Well, I don't actually know where I'm going.
I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, take a look at this. There, it's open. We're clear to go.
Looks impressive.
It's Admiral Zen's design. It transmits an energy pulse on contact that disrupts...
So where are we headed?
We're looking for an operations center. I can disable the Reaper command signal from there.
Where's the closest one?
Past their defense network and through a sensor cluster. Oh, vents. Always the vents.
You did fine at the collector base.
I got set on fire!
Guardian anti-fighter lasers. Looks like they're using ultraviolet frequencies, like the Solarians. Expensive. Bet it gives them an edge in close combat, though.
When the fleet rushed the Dreadnought, those lasers carved right through our ships.
You okay?
I will be. Thanks. Watch out! Geth incoming! Network intelligence! As we kill them, their attacks become more aggressive!
Disable their shields. And don't give them time to recharge. Sensor data. Any sign of how the Quarians are doing?
We're taking heavy losses. The Geth have a planetary defense cannon. It's ripping through our fleet.
I won't let you down, Tali. Look, the signal's hitting all Geth processes. The Reapers have them completely under control.
We've tried jamming it, hacking it, and piggybacking garbage data to corrupt it. Nothing worked. The Dreadnought's operation center is just ahead.
Good. Let's get the Reaper signal and get the fleet out of here.
The hunters are moving in!
Couldn't hide from that. At least one hunter still active.
That's the last of them. Let's see if that console is operational. Damn it! They've locked down the Reaper signal. We can't shut it down from here in the operations center. There! The Reaper signal's coming from the drive core.
So if we get there, we shut it down?
Right, but how do we get there? The Geth have sealed emergency bulkheads to block us off. We need a route to the drive core that can't be blocked. A path that runs the length of the ship.
What about the main battery? It runs right by the drive core.
That could work.
But?
The Geth still have us locked in here. We need to get these doors open. They've locked high-level processes. We need something basic. A ship-wide emergency. Like a fire.
What about the distribution?
Wait, if I faked a thermal warning, it would open all maintenance tubes for emergency venting.
Would that override the lockdown?
Yes. Okay, I've got it primed. But be ready. I'm reading hostile Geth on the other side of the doors.
Watch out, they're dropping in!
There could be cloak hunters as well.
Heads up, more on the way! Look at how much data the Dreadnought central processor is handling.
I think it's handling information from all Geth everywhere. Let's get to the maintenance shaft before more reinforcements arrive.
Right. I've served on a lot of ships, but nothing like this. The contours are all off. It's not built for organics. Shouldn't be too much farther to the main battery.
I appreciate what you're doing here, Shepard.
Well, I care deeply about the Quarian people.
It's good to be back on the Normandy.
Let me know if it's too quiet for you to sleep, and I'll find you someplace louder. I was there when you two had your thing, remember? Just get a room and work it out.
Shepard! Grab my hand! Hang on.
I'm all right.
I thought I'd lost you.
You were worried?
You bet I was. You dying because the Geth overrode my hack? Think of my reputation.
Yeah, you were worried.
Come on. The drive core shouldn't be far.
That's definitely Reaper tech. But what's...
Shepard Commander, help us.
Legion. Good to see you, Legion. We'll have you out of there in no time.
Shepard, wait. The Geth are being controlled by the Reaper signal.
Right. This thing.
So for all we know, Legion is with them. Maybe it sided with the Reapers voluntarily. Or maybe it's hacked.
Legion helped us fight the Reapers before. There's no way it would have agreed to this.
Your caution is understandable. Once freed, we will submit to any restraints you deem necessary.
I never thought I'd say this, but it's good to see you again.
Likewise, Creator Zora.
So what is this thing?
It uses our networking architecture to broadcast the old machine command signal to all Geth simultaneously.
Then getting you out of there will shut off the Reaper signal.
Wait, you cannot simply remove the restraints. We are secured via hardware blocks nearby. that shackle our operating protocols. The hardware blocks are on the far side of the room.
Far side of the room, you said?
Yes, deactivation should be simple. The Geth protected them against viral attack, not physical removal.
How'd the Reapers get control of the Geth?
They did not. The creators attacked. The Geth wished to live. The old machines extended an offer.
So we went to that Geth station and rewrote the heretics for what? Nothing?
No, you successfully rewrote the heretics. The decision to ally with the old machines was difficult. Had the creators not attacked, it would have been unnecessary.
We'll have you out of there soon.
Sounds like they only joined the Reapers because the Quarians attacked.
Nothing excuses an alliance with the Reapers. They could have found another way.
Some would say the same about Turians curing the genophage and allying with the Krogan.
Damn it! I begged them to negotiate rather than attack. I did.
Let's just get Legion out of there. Got it.
Tali's order to fleet. The signal is about to go offline.
This is Admiral Hangel. We're in your debt.
Hardware blocks offline. We are free. As a gesture of cooperation, we have disabled the Dreadnought's drive core. All weapons and barriers are offline. Alert! Geth reinforcements incoming!
Ships, open fire!
Shepard Commander, the Creator fleet is firing upon this vessel. Without barriers, this ship will be destroyed. We must evacuate.
We need to get to the escape pods.
Geth transmit intelligences via remote signal. We do not use escape pods.
Suggestions?
Geth fighters are docked in a portside fighter bay. We can pilot a fighter to safety.
Shepard to fleet. Hold fire.
They're not responding!
Damn it!
Shepard Commander, we have taken control of docking protocols.
We'll be right there. Warrior bastards!
Shepard Commander, we can only launch from the upper level.
Let's go!
They're closing the door!
We're losing
Don't
the
die,
fast
people!
missiles.
We'll take it!
Normandy to Shepard, reading a loss of gravity. You okay over there?
Fine. We're leaving in a Geth fighter. Transmitting rendezvous coordinates.
Does the storage compartment have adequate room, Shepard Commander?
We're fine. Go.
Unilateral strike endangered us all. I should charge you with treason.
I was within my authority as Admiral of the Heavy Fleet.
And what of Shepard? And Tali's aura?
They escaped unharmed. Shepard, the mission parameters changed. You're military. You understand that.
I understand. You wasted your chance to withdraw safely.
The Dreadnought was a perfect...
Admiral, you jeopardized your mission and your people. Get the hell off my ship.
Shepard, I understand you're angry.
If I didn't need your fleet...
He nearly got us killed, Ron.
You must understand. The Geth inflicted heavy casualties before you disabled the Reaper signal.
You said they have a planetary defense cannon?
Had. Admiral Chorus sacrificed his own ship to destroy it. He crash-landed on the home world.
The Normandy can assist with rescue efforts.
Thank you, Commander. I think the worst is over. The Geth no longer possess the programming upgrades they had while enslaved by the Reapers.
Shepard Commander, we are prepared to offer assistance.
What the hell is this?
Wait. Everybody calm down. Its name is Legion. It helped me destroy the Collectors. The Reapers were using Legion like a signal booster to broadcast commands from the Dreadnought. We freed him.
We freed it.
This is a fact.
I haven't heard any news about that Reaper base. Hopefully they'll give us a target soon.
So how did you end up back with your fleet, Tali?
When the war started, the Admiralty Board asked for my help. I had more recent contact with the Geth than most of my people. They hadn't filled the spot on the board left by my father. I was invited in. It's just a technicality. I'm far too young to be a real admiral.
Don't sell yourself short, Tali. The board needed your expertise. You needed the authority that comes with rank.
How did the war with the Geth get started, anyway?
Admiral Zen developed a scanning countermeasure that interferes with Geth active scans. It's like a flashbang grenade. It effectively crippled the Geth ships in combat. My fleet couldn't pass up the chance to attack.
Could we use it to fight the Reapers?
It only works against the Geth, unfortunately. Their AI lets them use extremely detailed LADAR pings. Zen's countermeasure overwhelmed them with garbage data. And it's useless now that the Reapers have upgraded their processing power.
How is it being back with the fleet?
Right now, it's exhausting. I'm an admiral in the middle of a war. I just want us to get out of this alive. Everything else can wait.
When this is over, I could use your help.
I can't, Shepard. If we survive this, we'll have a homeworld. My people need me.
You could help your people's homeworld by fighting the Reapers.
I don't know. Maybe if I had the right incentive? No, that's not... My people need me here.
Talk to you later, Tali.
If you want to catch up in private, call me up to your cabin.
Tali, I'm free if you'd like to come up.
I'll just be a moment. Thanks for asking me up. I couldn't talk freely in front of Ron.
You okay?
No, I'm really not. 17 million lives are riding on me. And I don't know if I can save them.
Hey. You're not alone.
This was supposed to be my father's fight, but he left me with all of this. If they die because of me, if I don't...
We'll get them out of there safely, Tali.
I couldn't do this without you, Shepard. I feel like I'm bluffing, trying to convince them that the Admiral's daughter knows what she's doing.
Not the Admiral's daughter. The Admiral.
I know. And at least now, I can push back against the worst ideas. That's why I accepted the position. And because of you.
Me?
When they offered me this position, I asked myself what you'd do. I thought you'd take the chance to make things better. You've given up so much, stood for too long without allies. I didn't want you to do this alone. So, if you're ever lonely, just let me know.
Tali, nothing between us has changed. Unless you wanted to.
Kila, Shepard. I'm not going to beg, but I didn't come up here just to see the fish.
No, you came up here because I asked you to. I want you here. With me.
Okay. Zen, we need those ships to recover life pods.
They'll be more valuable running salvage on the Dreadnought.
We're not letting people in life pods die just so you can rummage through Geth debris.
You yourself said their life signs were weak. They might already be dead.
It's not your call to make.
Admiral, any tech we can recover gives us an edge against the Geth. If you care about our people.
Zen, we need those ships to recover life pods.
There'll be more.
Zen, you can always send a salvage team later.
Unless there isn't a later because we're defeated due to a lack of Geth technology. Fine. I'm diverting ships to rescue life pods. As soon as they're finished, I want them back.
Thanks, Shepard. I can't believe it. I don't think it's really sunk in yet. The home world. My world. Look at the sky. And the rock formations. They used to write poems about them.
When we're done, maybe you'll write a new one.
This is Ranoc, the world of our ancestors. Our bodies carried the seeds that spread the desert grass. You've heard me say Kilasalai? The best translation I can come up with is, by the homeworld I hope to see someday.
Looks like you're seeing it today.
The living room window will be right here.
Something I should know?
I just claimed the land. I know it doesn't mean much, but when this is over, I'll have a home.
The Quarians spent centuries as nomads. You think you can go back to living in one place?
We have gotten used to carrying our homes around with us. Well, that's a start.
Damn! Move!
How are we supposed to fight that thing?
I was hoping your fleet might lend a hand. Go!
We will attempt evasive maneuvers. We may escape before it recovers.
No. Pull over.
If we run away, the Geth stand under Reaper control and the Quarians are dead. This ends now. Edie, patch the Quarians to the Normandy's weapon system. I want the targeting laser synced up to the whole damn fleet.
Understood.
If this doesn't... If we don't make it...
You worry too much.
I love you.
Kila Salai.
Without our intervention, organics are doomed. We are your
I have a better idea. We destroy you and live our lives in peace.
A philosophy reminiscent of the Quarians. Observe the results.
You. Whatever species you came from, before the Reapers decided to preserve them, they're dead. They died thousands of years ago. And now they can rest in peace.
Shepard.
We can confirm that the Geth are no longer being directed by the old machines. We are free.
You did it, Shepard. The Geth fleet has stopped firing. They're completely vulnerable.
Shepard, Commander, the Geth only acted in defense after the Creators attacked. Do we deserve death?
What are you suggesting?
Our upgrades. With the old machine dead, we could upload them to all Geth without sacrificing their independence.
You want to upload the Reaper code? That would make the Geth as smart as when the Reaper was controlling them.
Yes, but with free will, each Geth unit would be true intelligence. We would be alive, and we could help you.
Our fleet is already attacking. Uploading the code would destroy us. Shepard, you can't choose the Geth over my people.
Do you remember the question that caused the Creators to attack us, Tali? Does this unit have a soul?
No. I can't risk the Quarian fleet. Not to save the Geth.
Shepard.
They're trying to flee. Stay on them.
With these upgrades, our fleet could retake Earth. We could assist with the Crucible. Please, this is not justice.
No. Nobody else dies today. Legion, upload the code. Tali, patch me in.
Uploading. 20%.
All ships, this is Commander Shepard. The Reaper is dead. Stand down.
This is Admiral Talizora. Shepard speaks with my authority.
And mine as well. Negative. We can win this war now. Keep firing.
60%.
The Geth are about to return to full strength. If you keep attacking, they'll wipe you out. Your entire history is you trying to kill the Geth. You forced them to rebel. You forced them to ally with the Reapers.
80%.
The Geth don't want to fight you. If you can believe that for just 1 minute, this war will be over. You have a choice. Please. Keep us alive.
All units, hold fire.
Error. Copying code is insufficient. Direct personality dissemination required. Shepard, Commander, I must go to them. I'm sorry. It's the only way.
Legion, the answer to your question was yes.
I know, Tali. But thank you. Kila Sanai.
Commander.
Admiral Ron, I heard your ship made a crash landing. Glad you got out in one piece.
I was listening over the radio. If Hangirl hadn't stopped...
He did.
We have taken heavy losses. I don't know if we can. Where are we supposed to go?
You are welcome to return to Ranoc, Admiral Ron, with us.
Legion?
No, I'm sorry, Commander. Legion sacrificed itself to give us all intelligence. It will be honored.
Good.
And we will honor Legion's promise. The Geth fleet will help you retake Earth, and our engineers will assist in building the Crucible.
As will ours, of course.
Admiral, had you considered possible settlement sites?
The southern continent had excellent farmland, as I recall.
Are you gonna be okay?
I believe so, Commander. Thank you.
Shopping for another house?
Beachfront property.
Claim it fast. It's a buyer's market. You okay? I know working with the Geth will be difficult.
I'm not staying. I'm coming with you.
I thought your people needed you.
So?
So, that's usually kind of a big deal for you.
I gave up my father for my people. I gave up my freedom for an admiral position I didn't want. I'm not giving up you.
Tali.
I don't know how much time we have left. I don't know if we can beat the Reapers. But whatever happens, I want to be with you.
I bet you say that to every guy who gets you a homeworld.
Only the cute ones.
You know I'd understand if you needed to stay.
I know. But I look at all this picture of hope and peace. And all I see is everyone I've lost. My team on Haster, my father, even Legion. I'm mourning a Geth. How crazy is that?
It's not crazy at all.
It is beautiful, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It'll be years before we can live without our suits completely. But right now... Right now, I have this. Can't be. No. I guess that's right.
Hey, Tali. How's it going?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you. I just got communication from the fleet. Sorry. From Ranoc. In the old days, I'd send any new technology I found back to the fleet. I should probably be doing that with the agriculture samples now. I don't know anything about raising crops.
How are your people doing?
It's crazy. The Geth are helping. Setting up housing, adapting power systems. They are doing in weeks what would have taken us years. Geth are even uploading into the suits of Quarian volunteers. They're rewriting environmental functions, jump-starting our immune systems.
That doesn't seem possible.
The Geth are software, not hardware. They can transfer themselves from a normal body into anything with enough processing power. They're mimicking infections, so the host can adapt without getting sick. It's like making a vaccine.
So the Quarians won't have to wear those suits anymore?
It doesn't seem possible, but yes, in a few years, with Geth improvements, we won't need them. We might still wear them. The suits have become part of our society. But a rupture won't be a death sentence. Today, on Ranoc, there are Quarian children who will grow up healthy and strong, thanks to the Geth.
They owe that to you.
No. I'd have killed the Geth with no regrets. And I'd have been wrong. Thank you.
Anytime. Just let me know if you let a Geth upload itself in there.
No, the only person who gets inside my suit is you. Nothing stands between us now. Whatever the galaxy throws at us, I'll be at your side. By the way, I left something for you up in your cabin. Go have a look. I can't believe my people are working with the Geth. The Geth are helping us rebuild. I never thought I'd see it. Our scientists and the Geth have done amazing work on the Crucible together. Hey, Shepard. These scientists were fools to work for Cerberus, but at least they had the courage to break away. Being the only Turian on the ship?
I don't know. Should I?
I just mean not having anyone else like you around.
Doesn't seem to bother Liara.
But she can eat their food. Hey. Shepard, this wasn't your fault.
It's not about fault. I was supposed to stop them.
You will.
I don't know if I can do this, Tali. Earth, Palaven, Thessia. I'm risking everything to build the Crucible, and I'm not even sure what it does. Who am I to make that call?
You're the one who was right, all along. You fought when no one else would, when nobody else believed you. And if that's not enough, you're the man I love. Don't forget that, no matter what happens. Thanks, Shepard. Of course. We can have ships at the colony in 36 hours. Do you need medical support?
No. Evacuating the colony is more than enough. Thank you, Ambassador.
Ambassador?
I'm coordinating actions for the fleet while we're here. Evacuating colonies, bolstering Turian defense lines. I think it was right here. 3 years ago to the day.
What?
This was where Saren's assassins fired at me. I'd just gotten to the Citadel. I didn't think I needed my barriers up. My mistake.
You never told me about this. How bad was it?
Got me in the arm. They used polonium rounds. I was running a fever in minutes. It was the first time I'd been really hurt on my pilgrimage. I ran to the Council embassy, asked for protection, offered the data on Saren. The Turian clerk called me Soot Rat. He threatened to have me tossed off the station if I didn't leave.
I wish that clerk could see you now.
He just did. That was him back there. I don't think he remembers me.
And you're assisting him in spite of that.
This war is too big for old grudges. You showed me that. We're at peace with the Geth. I can't waste my time on a Turian who made me angry. Besides, it all worked out. I made it to the wards. You found me. Happy ending.
And now the Turians will get the aid they desperately need.
I nearly reminded him who I was. Made him apologize, rubbed his nose in it. Maybe he and I both needed to grow up a little.
The difference is that you helped when it counted.
The difference was you. Everything looks so peaceful. In here, you can almost forget about the war. I never get tired of looking at this place. I never thought they'd let a Quarian up here. The Presidium is so beautiful. Everything looks so peaceful. Shepard, you need to see this.
What have you got?
That wasn't Garno. This is. And it looks like he's been dead for a while.
So, Leviathan can have Bryson killed, can take over this colony, and he can use them as puppets. Huh. Anything else useful?
Encrypted data, and a personal log with 8 missed calls from a Dr. Anne Bryson.
Anne Bryson?
Mission.
Horizon.
No fair, I hadn't joined up with you yet.
Fine, the Dead Reaper then.
Really? The Husks just ran up to us.
Have you ever noticed that I carry a sniper rifle? You're the one who likes things at short range.
And you prefer to keep everything at a distance.
From Husks? Absolutely.
Creepiest thing we fought.
The Thorian. Your turn.
I'm going with the Rachni.
The Queen? But we didn't fight her either time.
No, the little ones. They look like spiders and they scuttle right toward you.
I thought you liked it when things got up close and personal.
Not when it's spiders. I'm glad Ann Bryson got out safely. I just hope we find Leviathan before the Reapers do. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by.
Makes you wonder what we're going to find down there.
A Reaper killer. That's what Bryson's task force was calling it. Doesn't look like it wants to be found.
It doesn't have a choice. We're here.
Right. But then what? It plays pretty rough, and if it is a Reaper, I don't know that's the kind of help we want.
Everyone all right?
My suit's intact. Maybe a few bruises under it. Shepard, do you read me? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Might need a little backup.
Good. Joker explained what happened. I'm on foot, but I should be there soon.
Excuse me, who is this? You're on an unsecured channel, and you're putting Commander Shepard in danger.
What? Who is this?
Hang on. Joker mentioned Staff Analyst Brooks, yes? That's her. Everybody play nice. Damn it.
What's going on? I heard that from here.
It's all under control.
Is that some kind of alarm? What's going on?
Thought I'd make things more interesting.
Of course you did.
Shepard, Brooks sent me the nav point for the Skytower lot. I'll be there soon.
Good.
What can you tell us about the mercs?
They have guns that don't like me.
That doesn't narrow it down much.
Commander, it would really be great if you could stay off the comm.
Hey, they called me.
Shepard, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
The landing pad's right over there, but it's behind a locked gate.
Let's look for a control panel.
By the way, nice outfit. Control panel, right. Did you really fall through a fish tank?
We'll talk about it later.
Do you remember back when you used to rescue me in the wards?
We'll talk about it later. Stand back.
Wait. Could you please open the gate? Thank you.
Please leave.
Well, I could have done that.
Someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Who were those mercenaries? They were heavily armed and had access to C-Sec shuttles.
I don't know. I've never seen them before.
I can't believe you survived all that. They had guns, and grenades, and those drone things.
It's all right. I'm calling Commander Bailey. See what's going on with C-Sec.
Okay, that sounds... Wait! Wouldn't that just make whoever you contact a target too?
She's right, Shepard. Until we know more, it would be a big risk.
Okay. For now, we run this ourselves.
Right. Ourselves. On our own. Outside the law. Okay. Yeah.
Brooks, gunfire means something serious is going on. Can you keep it together long enough for us to figure this out?
They said the Medigel might make me jumpy. Also, the fact that I work a desk job and have never been shot before.
How did you get mixed up in this?
I monitored data for Alliance intel to prevent fraud and hacking of officer IDs. Like, someone using an Admiral's pass to get into a nightclub on the Citadel when that Admiral is fighting on Tuchanka. I wrote a tracking program. It's really neat. I named it Mr. Biscuits, after my cat.
Brooks.
Right, sorry. Anyway, my program detected a breach in your classified files. Soon, everything we had on you was compromised. Personnel files, mission reports, everything.
Since when does hacking personnel records involve heavy weapon fire?
Think of what criminals could do if they had Shepard's military access codes. Or Spectre codes, even.
Explains why they need you dead, Shepard. Nothing to stop them till the damage is done.
Guess we're back on the clock.
Don't worry. We'll find a quiet evening for just the two of us when this is done.
Okay. Ideas on where to start with these guys?
What about the pistol you picked up?
For such a tiny thing, it packs a punch. Never seen anything like it before.
Let me see it. I might be able to help. Glyph.
I'll begin collating relevant intel for review, Dr. Tassoni.
Liara?
Shepard. I'm relieved to see you're in one piece. A shame about the sushi place, though. It was a favorite.
I hear that.
All right, Liara's on point. What about the rest of the crew?
Yeah, what about those slackers?
Joker, you've been busy.
I found some folks who actually like being shot at.
Permission to come aboard, Shepard.
Back during my pilgrimage, I used to walk around near that sushi place and watch the fish through the window. I knew they'd never let me inside, but I'd think to myself, someday, when I've proven my worth to the galaxy, I'll go there for dinner. And then, you broke their floor.
I'm fine, by the way.
Glad to hear it. Try not to destroy any more of my childhood memories. Hey. You're looking good.
Feels a little light without body armor, but it's soft to touch.
Good to know. It's not every day a Quarian gets to mingle with the rich and famous.
It seemed like you were having fun causing distractions.
Whatever it takes to get you to bring me somewhere nice. Hey.
Erased. The logic integrity remains viable.
Edie has an incredible talent for this stuff. I know she's an AI, but even still. We found an encrypted communication from a few days ago. Just need another minute to crack it.
A whole minute? Edie here could shave that down to 5 seconds.
I thought it best to allow Staff Analyst Brooks a chance to improve her decryption skills.
And now you've lost your chance to show off.
Like she needs it. You're the crew of the Normandy. You're legends to the rest of the Alliance.
Legends can be good or bad. Which are we?
You're the kind that people look up to. The kind they owe their lives to.
How come everyone's always shooting at us?
I think it's mostly you, Rex. The bigger the target, the bigger the, target.
You're saying I've gained weight?
It just means there's more of the legend to love.
And the camaraderie, the friendship. I think that's your secret weapon.
It's all just part of the job.
Wait. Job? You mean the rest of you are getting paid for this?
Here we go. Wow. Those mercs who were after you, they bought a lot of weapons. Like, big ones.
Max? What do they need that kind of firepower for?
It appears this drone is preparing to rebel.
I have just monitored the Commander's Spectre access code in use at the Citadel archives.
Punch it up.
The archives are going into emergency lockdown. Whoever's hacking your records is there right now.
What do we know about the place?
Council keeps sensitive historical information there. Real hush-hush. Even my old CSEC clearance never got me in.
Then we'll find our own way in. Gear up and let's... What's with the Volus? Oh,
Pizza delivery guy. I got the munchies.
Double pepperoni.
These archives are huge. You'll have a lot of ground to cover. Shame you can't bring everyone.
Who says we can't? All hands on deck for this one.
Hell yeah. But, who gets to take point with you?
Go! I'll cover you! Move!
Hey! That's cheating! We're on a ladder!
This is Shepard. We need...
And that's the moment when the universe ran out of ammunition.
The minute, the second I get out of here, I'm gonna take your head and mount it in the Normandy CIC. Then I'm gonna mount his head next to yours. Then I'm gonna take both of your heads and space them out the airlock.
I'll help.
So that went rather well.
He said, I should go. Do I sound like that?
Yeah, kinda.
Shouldn't we be worrying about the impregnable vault we've been sealed inside forever?
I'm more confident than he is. More in control. With me, it's more like, that's all for now.
Exactly. Full stop. You're the one ending the conversation.
There's probably not much air in here either. For the three of us, maybe an hour, if we take shallow breaths.
Or sometimes, I'll talk to you later. Because you know what? I never do. Leave him wanting more.
Shepard, please! Why aren't you more worried about this?
Hmm? Oh, Glyph, you still out there?
Yes, Commander.
A clone. Honestly, when you serve on the Normandy long enough, you get used to things like this.
I can explain more later. Pretty sure we broke Trainer's toothbrush getting the hatch open. Remind me to reimburse her for that.
Hey, Shepard. Reimburse Trainer for her toothbrush.
Later. Remind me later.
Hey, got any plans for the evening?
No. I'm as free as the dust in the solar wind. You remember that line? From Fleet and Flotilla? Shalai and Bellicus on the balcony?
I don't think I've ever seen that. Did...
What? You've never... How could you not have? Well, I know what we're doing tonight.
But Shalai, we can never be together. I have my duty, and you have your people.
Not tonight. Tonight, I'm as free as the dust in the solar wind.
You watch this a lot? With the lovers from two different worlds?
Every time my friends and I had a sleepover, we memorized the lyrics from the musical. Oh, we can activate sing-along mode. Let the moon shining light to lovers with its rays. Though I know that dawn will set us on course for separate ways, I will hold this night in memory for all my living days. Now unmasked, I feel your skin on mine.
I had no idea you were so into this.
This vid FTL jumped me into puberty. And who doesn't love a good cross-species romance?
I want you to see behind this mask. I want you to see who I truly am.
I already have.
Works for me.
But July, we can never be together. I have my duty, and you have your people.
Not tonight. Tonight, I'm as free as the dust in the solar wind.
You watch this a lot? With the lovers from two different worlds?
Every time my friends and I had a sleepover, we memorized the lyrics from the musical. Oh, we can activate sing-along mode. Let the moon shining light add to leathers with its rays. Though I know that dawn will set us on course for separate ways, I will hold this night in memory for all my living days. Now unmasked, I feel your skin on mine.
Every time you had a sleepover, huh? I guess you always had a thing for exotic alien men.
I don't hear you complaining.
I want you to see behind this mask. I want you to see who I truly am.
I already have.
Works for me.
And on one of those Atlas mechs. Always wanted one.
Or put an air conditioner in this suit. You have no idea how hot it gets.
So, Shepard, you can serve this swill, but can you drink it?
Someone has to drive you all home.
Are we sure the Normandy is still there? Has anyone else tried to steal it? Stealing the Normandy? Now there's an idea. Wait, what? Who?
Trainer, you still have your toothbrush?
We can always get another Normandy. Call up Cerberus and ask them to please build us the SR3.
But wouldn't that require you to change your name? Tali Zora von Normandy SR3.
It's Vas Normandy. Von means one who has a weak bladder, which feels appropriate right about now.
We've seen a lot of good times on the old girl.
That we have. Indeed.
Here, here.
Some of you more than others. I'm just honored to have squeaked in.
To the Normandy.
And to falling in love with the ship's captain.
Hi. Such a history with Shepard.
It's mostly a lot of running and shooting, and usually somewhere in there, a button needs pushing, but Shepard always hogs that part.
Yes, a history of close calls, narrow escapes, and more near-death encounters than I care to remember. Working with Shepard reminded me of my younger days. Running with mercenaries, blowing things up with mercenaries, and occasionally sleeping with mercenaries.
I remember first meeting Shepard. All I kept thinking was, I hope he took a shower, because my filter needs replacing, and humans carry a lot of germs.
I'm guessing that's not what you think anymore.
Well, she may still picture him in the shower.
Okay, I admit, when I first heard about it, I thought Archangel was some sort of mascot for a perfume company.
I'm glad I got your hopes up, Tali. When I first heard about it, I thought the Shadow Broker was a Shadow Boxer. I pictured some sort of Elcor punching bag.
And that's exactly what the galaxy should keep thinking. Not that I have a personal interest in it or anything.
Of course, the SR2 is much bigger, so they upgraded the ventilation system. More of the...
That's actually what it sounds like.
There is a lot more space now.
But if you move further up, it's more of a...
I'm not getting it, Tali.
You have to imagine my arms are the wings.
Okay, now I see it. By the med bay.
Exactly.
What are you guys talking about?
Tali was acting out the differences between the original Normandy and the SR2.
Acting?
I may have recorded it. And that recording may already have 6 million extranet hits and a fan site.
You better hope I never find you.
Yeah, but which one's better?
The SR2 is harder to perform. Does that make it better or worse?
Just look at what it accomplished. The SR2 made a good ship better.
The original Normandy was developed by the Turian Council and the Alliance. It's a symbol of cooperation between members of the galactic community. And we wouldn't be where we are now without it.
The SR2 has been through a lot, and it'll see us through a lot more.
I wouldn't change my name for just any ship.
I thought the Admiralty Board changed your name.
Yes, but in hindsight, I might have considered it. You know what I'm talking about? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you miss the Normandy?
Yeah, sometimes. But things are pretty different now.
Some things have changed, but there are still familiar faces. Me, Shepard, Joker, Edie.
Come on, Edie even having a face. That's a pretty big change.
Okay, that part's different.
I knew nothing could beat the SR2. At least for now.
For now?
Well, yeah. Let's say one day I get my own ship. That ship will kick some serious ass.
I suppose it will.
Shepard!
Tali, are you okay?
Yep. You want to see my tattoo?
I don't think you have a tattoo, Tali.
Hologram. Omni tattoo. Omni tat. Omni 2. Under the suit. You know, for me. You want to know what it is? You wanna know? It's a pretty bird. Made of rainbows. It is flying out of the eye hole of a skull, being held in the mouth of a thresher maw with a naked woman holding a sword on its back. Jack said you'd think it was hot.
Remind me to talk to Jack in the morning. Where'd you get the Omni tattoo anyway?
Down in the lower wards, near the bottom.
I meant where on your body.
So did I. Yeah, I heard that one from Liara.
Get some rest, Tali. You sure you're okay, Tali?
Fine. Suit doesn't let me get overly drunk. Just have it all flushed out in a minute. Omni 2. It just smells like sweat. Why would you even ask that? Don't do that in my helmet. It just goes bunks up the filters. No, that gets broken down with Mass Effect fields. Those are just my hips. Go for the optics, Chatika. Shepard, you know I'm ticklish.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Hey, everyone. Come over here for a minute. Let's get a photo to remember this. Arrange yourselves on the sofa.
An excellent suggestion, Shepard.
Great idea. I want a copy.
Make way! Make way!
Thanks for coming, everyone. Here's to us. Ready, Glyph?
Of course. If you could all please direct your attention this way.
Okay. Everyone say Normandy.
Normandy!
Hey. Wow, look who's here. How do you feel?
Could be worse. I could be waking up alone.
Not on my watch.
Good.
Come on. Let's see if anyone else is up.
I wonder if you would let me stay here, Commander. It reminds me of my stasis pod. Every morning I could wake and, just for a moment, imagine it was still my cycle and that Liara did not exist.
To die. I didn't know you could go through that many toxin filters in one night. Do I have a tattoo? I remember something about a tattoo. Don't get me wrong. Great party, but... yeah. I'll just be here. Right here. Forever. I guess shore leave's over.
At least we threw one hell of a party. Probably the last one.
No. No matter what happens, you'll find a way to do it right. For all of us. Serving on a human ship. I never would have guessed. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. We've had a good ride.
The best.
No regrets over fighting the Reapers on a human ship?
Hey, the Normandy's design was part Turian, remember?
You know what I mean.
No, somebody has to keep you from giving all the Dextros a bad name.
That's right. I remember you chastising me on behalf of my species for losing our homeworld to the Geth.
I never said that.
Would you like me to send you an audio recording?
No, I hate listening to recordings of myself. My voice never comes out right. Listen, about what I said.
Forget it.
No, I was wrong. I was young and I was wrong about your people.
I guess losing Palavin put things in perspective.
Yeah, you could say that. How about you? You ever mind serving on an all-human ship?
Somebody has to stick around to keep you in line. Good to see you. Shepard, we were just saying goodbye.
And making friendly wagers.
Optimistic wagers, in your case.
A Turian military operative competing with a Quarian mechanic, and I'm the optimistic one.
Do you remember Ilos?
Yes, it was filled with Geth, which tilted the odds in your favor.
Excuses, excuses.
I doubt you'll be hacking any synthetics this time.
I still have the shotgun.
I'll be sure to let a few Reaper forces get close enough for you to use it.
Thanks. Of course, if they get past me, they'll be right on top of you.
That's what the armor's for.
You two have been with me longer than most. You believed in me when nobody else did. Thanks.
We'll finish this the way we started it. Together.
Damn right. At least we finally killed Lieutenant Bastard Kai Lang. I just hope we get to do the same to his general. It's kind of amazing how everything's come full circle. The Citadel's been the center of galactic civilization, a Reaper trap, and my source of employment for a long time. And now it's our salvation for any chance at winning this war. I think it's time we got you back home, Shepard. Earth will either be remembered as the place we beat the Reapers, or it'll be a smoking ruin for the next cycle to wonder about. Later.
Kila Salai, Shepard. Kila Salai, Shepard. It's going to take a few more hours for the fleets to mobilize. I hate the waiting. I've been trying to find ways to pass the time.
Come up with anything good?
I thought maybe you could use some company tonight.
Will you stay here with me? Until the call comes?
For as long as you want. Hey.
You okay?
My system has adapted. No more negative reaction to you anymore. That's how we survive.
Is it how we survive? Adapting?
To a cold or interspecies contact? Yes. To the Reapers? No. You're doing the right thing. You've assembled the largest military force in history. Nobody could have done more.
We've lost so much already. Sometimes
You don't know if what'll be left was worth the fight. I know. And when I feel that way, I reach for you.
Thanks.
Whenever you need me.
We will be through momentarily. Shepard, that console has not been fully scrubbed. It contains data you may find interesting.
What am I looking at?
Project Lazarus, your reconstruction.
It can't be done. It's not a matter of resources.
It's always a matter of resources. We're not losing Shepard.
Sir, Shepard is clinically brain dead. After that much trauma, that long with no oxygen, we cannot overcome nature.
Operative Lawson disagrees. She is now in charge of Project Lazarus.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Kila. Are you alright?
I'm still me. I doubt I'd have been able to turn against Cerberus otherwise. I don't remember anything. Maybe they really just fixed me, or maybe I'm just a high-tech VI that thinks it's Commander Shepard. But I don't know,
You are real. Real and mine.
Tissue regeneration is proceeding. The helmet kept the brain intact for whatever good that will do.
Lawson will find a way.
Sir, Shepard's an Alliance soldier. As far as he knows, we're a terrorist organization.
Shepard's a soldier. He knows the Reapers are the real threat. He'll work with us.
He was right. You did.
Every instinct I had told me not to trust Cerberus. But I needed their help. So I played along.
I was there with you, Shepard, and I'm here now, shutting Cerberus down.
Project Lazarus is reporting neurological activity. They're requesting more funding.
Granted. Get me our potential recruits file. Shepard will be up soon. We need a crew.
Our existing forces should be more than sufficient.
No. We need sympathetic faces. I need Shepard invested. Tap Kelly Chambers and recruit Donnelly. I imagine Miss Daniels will follow. We'll want some old friends as well. Contact Dr. Chakwas and send me the psych profile on Shepard's pilot, along with a bottle of 47 Thessia Red.
He needs to die.
How's that door coming, Edie?
Almost time for the final push. Are you okay?
I thought I'd be asking you that question.
Shepard, I backed you when I was just a kid on her pilgrimage. I backed you when the Normandy was a Cerberus ship. Wherever you go, I'm with you. And you haven't answered my question. Are you okay?
You remember how you felt when you landed on Ranoc? Now imagine it's not a story passed down by your people. Imagine you were there just a few months ago.
And now you're seeing it like this.
We need to put it right.
We will. Do you remember what we said on Ranoc? Just before you took down that Reaper?
You said, I love you.
And you said, Kila Salai. I want more time.
I know. Whatever happens.
I know.
Normandy, do you copy? I need an evac, right now. Come on. Here, take her.
Shepard!
You gotta get out of here.
I can't stay behind.
Don't argue with me, Tali.
Don't leave me behind.
I need you to make it out of here alive, Tali. Get back to Ranoc. Build yourself a home.
I have a home. Come back to me.
Go!
All fleets, the Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point. I repeat, disengage and get the hell out of here.
Jeff, we need to go.
Damn it.
war is over. The Reapers have been defeated. Against all odds, and in the face of the greatest threat this galaxy has ever known, we survived. We suffered many losses. The relays are severely damaged, but we won. This victory belongs to each of us. Every man, woman, and child. Every civilization. On every world. Now, as we take our first steps toward restoring what we lost, we must remember what it took to win. This wasn't a victory by a single fleet, a single army, or even a single species. If this war has taught us anything, it is that we are at our strongest when we work together. And if we can put down our grievances long enough to stop something as powerful as the Reapers, imagine what we can achieve now that they are defeated. It will take time, but we can rebuild everything that was destroyed. Our homes, our worlds, our fleets and defenses, all of this and more. Together, we can build a future greater than any one of us could imagine. A future paid for by the sacrifices of those who fought and died alongside us. A future that many will never see. And while we still have many challenges ahead of us, we can face them together. And we will honor those who died to give us that future.
The moon shining light, hide to levers with its rays. Though I know that dawn will set us on course for separate ways, I will hold this night in memory for all my living days. Now unmasked, I